The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
It's showtime.
It is showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Circle of May Podcast, episode 122, 122. Señoras y señores, bienvenidos aquí a Circle Debate. The host, Steve, is one I've C, and I'm here with mi familia, the greatest faction of all time, of course. And, of course, my family from the League of Extraordinary Podcasts. Let me introduce, of course, the man with the IQ that I wish Tony Khan can have and settle shit down and just tell everybody.
Oi! No fighting. No fucking fighting. No fighting. No fucking fighting! Good. Get the fucking...
And I know Dan would do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Bakley, Cage by Q. And of course, I have my other hermano, my other Philly hermano as well. This guy doesn't really need much intro, but he does because he is the Psycho himself. He's a big deal. He is the Psycho himself. He's a producer, the executive producer. He runs the whole show for Top Rope Wrestle Talk. And of course, part of the Rewind Wrestling Network, Mr. D.O.M. Psycho Billy Dog. Let me play his music, though.
Yeah, let's go. It's only fitting.
It's always fitting.
Maybe I should have gone D.O.M.
Let's fucking
The master
go.
of none.
That's right. That is
there.
Right.
We go.
Just in time. What's going on, my brother Justin? Man, make sure you subscribe to Just in
The
Time.
encyclopedia of knowledge, right there, of wrestling.
Yes, he is. He definitely is, man.
I thought I was good.
Oh, man. I thought all of us were good, man. But that guy, he has an IQ that fuck. I wish I could have. But man, what a packed show we have tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Because there's a lot of professional wrestling happening this weekend. We have, of course, tomorrow we have Bound for Glory, and then you have Saturday, you have Extreme Rules. So we're going to get into all of that. And, of course, recap of Dynamite as the director, and Matt Callis will be joining us within the hour. But let's talk about, before that, I want to talk about what the fuck just happened 24 hours ago. Because I want to digress this, get this out of the way. And, of course, and I'm talking about these two idiots here.
I can tell you what happened. Roosh became the new leader of HFO. That's what happened.
I was going to say, you can't say LFI because they're gone.
that is gone. Now you have RFO. That's what you're going to have.
All of a sudden, that swerve of Dragon Lee just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So, of course, with all this debacle occurring, when this all started very brief with Andrade's had an interview, and I guess he mentioned Sammy Guevara's name. Mentioned that Sammy does not, like the fact that Andrade was too stiff on him. And of course, there was a back and forth altercation on Twitter. Sammy, of course, saying you're a liar on your last conversation you had. You're just a jobber. The only reason you're here for a huge favor. Doing some favor, you want to go back to WWE. Blah, blah. Of course, Andrade, I'm going to meet you on Wednesday and say it to my face. And it did happen. And it looks like before even the show began, I guess what we read in the dirt sheets, how they want to say it. Of course, allegedly. Of course, I don't know who's they confronted each other. There's one story. Sammy threw the first punch. Another story said Andrade threw the first punch. So Andrade got sent home. Sammy had to stay for the main event for, of course, Dynamite. But there's no control. And now, what happens next? And how should they both be punished? And what's the deal? What's the future of now holds? I mean, we already had the CM Punk situation, and now we're having this. I mean, Eddie Kingston with Sammy prior, and now we're having, of course. So I'll take it to you, DOM. How should TK get this rectified?
Oh, man. Even the EVPs are still gone. Like, breaking news, Brandon Cutler has returned, so everything is okay now. But outside of that, the EVP, Punk, now you got the. I mean, Jesus Christ! When it comes to it, I would do the same thing I did with the Bucks. And with Punk, I just, you know what? Fuck you, go home. We don't need you to go home. Like, we're doing fine without these four. We can make it without you two. Leave. I mean, goddamn, even with these two, like, Sammy has fucked up in AEW so many times in 3 years, I've lost count. I know the Sasha thing wasn't really him, but he still said it. It still came out, and it came out during the speaking out movement. Then there was the whole thing with his first fiance and Ty. Now there's this shit with Andrade. And even in between, you had the shit with Impact where he was supposed to show up, but he didn't want to, so he said fuck it and all this other stuff. And it's like Sammy Guevara could be one of, if not the biggest stars in AEW at this point, if he didn't fuck it up for himself time and time and time again. If I'm Tony Khan at this point, I might look at Sammy and go, you know what? Good luck in your future endeavors, fucker. Get out.
Yeah. Wow. Love it. Love it. Dan, what you got for me, baby? What are your thoughts?
There's a lot going on with this situation. First, we thought that it was talking about Sean Spears because Sean Spears was saying like goodbye because he's taking like a while off because of course the wife is pregnant. That's why she left Impact. They want to start a family, so he's going to be out for a long time with that, and then raising the kid a little bit before he comes back. It could be 2 years before he comes back. So we thought he was talking about that, and we're like, okay, what's underlining about this? But then we saw everything with Andrade, and according to them, like I'm not taking this at face value because, of course, you know the dirt sheets, they're the ones that made it worse. Is that Andrade came in. Apparently, they were told going into today, into Dynamite, don't touch each other, don't even confront each other. Apparently, they had a face-to-face with Tony Khan the day before, and he said, "Don't do anything." What happens? Yeah, they start going at it on social media some more. Andrade confronts Sammy. Apparently, Sammy didn't hit him. Apparently, it was just saying shit, and then Andrade punched him, and then Sammy pushed him. So that's why Andrade got sent home. It was probably going to be hard to kind of fix the main event. The only way I thought they would have been able to fix it is if maybe Jake Hager was there, but I don't think he was at the building. So maybe they were kind of stuck in a situation where they had to use him, and it's kind of awkward the fact that he was getting booed and then he got the pin, even though with how they did it, they had Jericho hit him with hit Garcia with the belt to allow him to just pin him. So it was like it made it more realistic. Like, okay, it was more Jericho causing the pin than them actually giving Sammy Guevara something to do, and then they just fed into the crowd. But it's like maybe. And like I said it before, so I was like, have him do the match, send him home for a couple weeks, don't pay him, don't pay him for a couple weeks, have him come back, have a talk with him. You already sent Andrade home because he physically got physical with Sammy, so you have to send him home. I said that like just like with the Young Bucks and CM Punk, they got physical with each other, they got sent home as they should have. Andrade got physical with him. No matter what happened, he got sent home. Sammy didn't. So it's kind of one of those gray areas. So what are you going to do with him? Because he's kind of like the start of the shit. Because this isn't the first time. This isn't the second time. This is the third time he did this. So it's like he's finding a way to get out of it because he technically didn't get physical, but then he's like a repeat offender, so send him home for a couple weeks. Show that you're going to do something. You're not going to let him get away with it. Because he's young. He's young, dumb, and he's just. He thinks
he's full of cum. We already know.
Yeah. Well, you were thinking 3 years that motherfucker learned. That's all I'm saying. Every year he fucks up. He's got more leeway than CM Punk.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, he did. Yeah, definitely he did. And shout out to LINKTREE Wrestling Podcast, of course, man. We the ones of podcasting. That's right, we the ones.
My shield brother.
That's right. That is right. And of course, my brother De Niro will be back next week as he's recovering still from his surgery. Looking forward to seeing him back. And I just wanted to see, read Justin's.
I was thinking about coming in with doing the De Niro. Like, what's up, passengers? After this commercial where Nick Gage says Delorean, I'm gonna come back and talk about ball deodorant. But I didn't.
Well, there are multiple.
I know the shtick. You could have let me run the show, son.
Well, there will be multiple different stories coming out about the situation. The right thing to do is to punish both of them. With no surprise, Tony fucked it up.
Yeah,
showed about blatant favoritism towards Sammy. Yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And
here's the question: What if he had him do the match and now he punishes him? How would you feel about that?
Well, here's the thing. Now I digress because I've been dying since you see in the chat.
Yeah,
because this shit.
I've been waiting.
Look, I need to take a sip of my beer. Michelada. Easy.
Give me what I want.
I want to give you what you want. That's right. Yes. I agree with what Justin and Devin is saying. He is an instigator. He is nothing but a child. This guy that loves the attention, that needs the attention because he knows that he's not relevant. That's why he tried his best to do what he can on his vlogs. That's why he fucking married, Tay Mello for that reason. He didn't marry her because he fell in love with her. He married her, and I'm going to say straight out, and I know I'm going
to be fair, have you seen that ass?
I'll go. Hey, hold on. I'm getting there.
I'm
getting there. But I was saying, look,
she is fine.
I mean this with all respect to Tay Mello. We know why he married her. And how quickly he did. I mean, we know that, the attention. And that's what this stupid ass is asking for, is for the center of attention. Knowing that Daniel Garcia is getting more of the attention than he is, knowing that Darby Allin is already up there getting more of the attraction than he is. MJF, of course, is the number one there. He's supposed to be one of the pillars of all elite wrestling, being the future of that organization. And 3 times of this act, well, I mean, obviously the first one I'm not going to say. I mean, it happens. They found whatever they found on during the speak movement. It happens. Shit happens. Okay, I let that slide. But with Eddie Kingston, come on now. That's what I mean.
I forgot about that one. Thank you.
Structure.
That's
and now with this, but there's no need to put this on social media. Why? Because you want the center of fucking attention.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna just put it all on him. I'm gonna put it on Drea too. Just because you married to the Hall of Famers, 16-time world champion, you want to act like if you were a 16-time world heavyweight champion. You're not a 16-time. You're nothing. And I'm sorry.
Have you won a world championship outside of Triple A?
because of your attitude, you want to act your top shit.
Just NXT.
Let me remind you your career.
Oh, right.
Let me remind you. You came from Consejo Mundial. You were a nobody until Rouge put you in. Your own cousin put you into those Ingobernables. La Sombra was a mid-carder and put you in there. And then when you went to New Japan, you made yourself more famous. Then you came to NXT. Papa H elevated you to that, to that extent. Your ego is so full of it. It's so much far up your ass. Take it out of it. You need to stop. If you want to go, if you really wanted to go, then leave, but do not go back to WWE. Go to New Japan. Go to Mexico. You don't deserve to be in the States. For that reason, because of your attitudism, your egotism, that you want to act like you earn it, that you deserve it, kiss my ass. You don't deserve shit because of that attitude, because of that ego. You're not the shit just because you married to the Hall of Famer's daughter. No, I'm sorry. I'm digressing because it pisses me off.
Keep going.
These two.
I'm loving it.
These two
get them
are supposed to be professional. You're supposed to help the alternative to build. You left WWE to help another organization. I get it. I blame Tony Khan too. Another one who's a dumbass. Doesn't know how to book shit. He needs to fucking learn. He needs to have a voice, a leader. He needs to have a William Regal. Man, I wish Jake was 20 years younger because he will put everybody on check. I guarantee that. I wish Taker would hire Taker to this day. I would hire Taker. Put him, and he'll put everybody on notice.
You know how quick that locker room would change?
They better.
Whatever you say, Mr. Mark, sir.
Callaway, whatever you say. I just digress because this is bullshit. But then I think Could it be a work? Is Tony Khan that desperate to allow this to happen because his competition, quote on that, is now getting the eyes more than his own product? Are you're allowing this to get eyes to your product for that reason? And if he is, that is the most pathetic move that I ever have seen.
No, that would be whack as fuck.
I don't think that's happening because I don't even think they're getting that more eyes on him anyway.
Let's be real though. But why allow it?
Companies are.
It's been like
what's
6
crazy
weeks. It's been like 6 weeks in a row. I don't know about this week, but before that, it was like 5-6 weeks in a row that AEW has been over 1 million viewers, which is something that was not happening. It actually started happening right before the fight, and their numbers got better after.
Yeah.
So I don't. Even if they were trying to use this, like, oh well, maybe the fight got our numbers up. Let's just have people fight. That'd be the dumbest fucking thing on earth. Because the fight is not what got it. The television you produced after the fact was what got those viewers in. People wanted to see how you were going to respond, and that roster responded.
And what I hate, I try not to say too much about it because I'm not quiet about it, but I'm getting sick and tired of the dirt sheets. This is the problem here.
Get them.
Dirt sheets are the problem here. Right here. The dirt sheets. I'm with, you know what? I'm with Devin here.
I'm with Devin.
Fuck
them damn sheets.
Fuck them dirt sheets.
I'm there with
this
you.
guy hit this guy. No, this guy hit that guy. When you're bullshitting, you'll put out any story there is so people will click it.
Because this isn't something we should know about. This isn't anything that should be relevant. If this is happening, it should just be something that's happening in the locker room. And of course, it's the same guy doing it, the same person having issues. All it's doing is it's hurting AEW. It's hurting Tony Khan. We're talking about Tony Khan right now, not controlling the locker room when he just put the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, you got CM Punk, and a couple other guys on indefinite suspensions. He had to do that because it was out there already. They put it out there with the media scrum, so we knew about that. But then the dirt sheets put everything out about the whole fight and everything in the locker room. That's something you keep back there, like Jericho said. You keep everything in the locker room, and of course, it's not being kept in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's not.
And
Absolutely.
now we're talking about the company in a negative way.
You know what? Like, I
And
see where
so-
Devin is coming from with this comment about, what Tony does on Twitter and shit. But like, yeah, Tony can do whatever the fuck he wants because he's the boss.
Yeah.
If your boss leaves early from work every fucking day, he will keep his job. If you do it, you will be fucking fired.
Yeah. No, definitely
Facts.
agree. Before the internet, this type of shit ever happened at the time. No one never knew until someone would talk about it.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I said that earlier today. Like, Hogan and Randy Savage had a real life beef that we found out about like late 90s. That should have been going on since the 80s. It took internet and Google to come around for us to even think.
No, and I agree. With SmackDown Raw. I mean, yes, it does set a bad example. Which I mean, I look, Devin, I'm not blaming these two. I blame these two, not only them two, because they could have just do not put this out there on social media.
Yeah.
Why do you do that? There's no reason to.
If
If you want to be a man, talk about it. You talk about it face to face. Why can't it go back to the territory days? All right, you guys want to duke it out? There's a ring, and there's nobody here. Fight it off, and then brush it off, and then get back to work. That's what I would be like old school days.
You know what? We're gonna clear the locker room. You two are gonna fight, and when it's over, I don't want to hear it out.
I bet you this happened so many times in WWE. We just didn't hear about it because the dirt sheets didn't get a hold of it. That's where the problem lies. There is it's probably happening all the time in just wrestling in general. It's just that in AEW, everybody finds out about it because of the Meltzers and the Alvarez's, because they want to get it out there. They want you to know the inside scoop. I used to want to do the inside scoop. Now I don't, because it's affecting the product in a bad way. I agree. All I want to hear from the dirt sheets is, hey, this match is being done tonight. They just scheduled it, or this guy's hurt. That's it. Those two things. Yeah. A match,
or say this guy's on the move and let it be legit. That kind of thing. That kind of thing works for me. But I don't need to know all this shit. I'm trying to enjoy wrestling, and this is just like
Yeah.
We have spent what now 20 minutes talking about these two, and to be real with you, this is like if you're in high school and two kind of popular kids get in a fight, and you weren't around to see it, and somebody tells you later, like, "Oh, they were fighting," you're like, "Whatever."
It's taken away from it's taken away.
But here we are.
It's taken away from a great month that AEW has had
since
the media. Exactly.
Love that, Justin.
It's taken away from a great month that Tony Khan has done with booking, and where we've had some good dynamites, some good rampages, which we are not used to seeing. Guys are getting shots that we normally haven't seen because of certain people being suspended, and they're performing. They're doing what they need to do, and the product has been good again. But now, just like you said, instead of talking about that, we're talking about this. Just like with how great of a tag match at All Out, instead of talking about that, we were talking about the media scrum and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and CM Punk. It's
even the anniversary show was damn good, but we're leading with the fuckboy just challenged the poser preppy to a fight.
Yeah. Well, fuck that. Let's just move on. I want to go ahead and move on.
Fuck all that.
Fuck all that. I want to talk about.
You know what, Sammy? I'm gonna say it. You suck. Fight me.
There you go. Oh man, so
you ain't gotta twist it up in reports. It's on video.
Andrade, you're a jobber.
I want to talk about, of course, Papa H making some moves for the new season premieres of SmackDown, of course, and Raw and NXT. The announcement teams will change. Of course, we do have now the SmackDown ones right here, and and then we do have the Raw team right here. And then we do have Kathy Kelly, but she's back, so I'm happy that she's back. So that's great.
I love Kathy.
And then, of course, we have the NXT, which Booker T is on NXT. So I am really
I think that's temporary. I think that's just temporary.
What the hell is Jimmy Smith? What the hell is Jimmy Smith?
He got relieved of his duties.
He said he's done with WWE. I don't know if he got relieved or if he just left on his own, but he put out a tweet today saying that he was done with WWE. And
it looks like it looks like by I guess according to what it is saying is that he's done with the company, so he left. So I mean, I like Jimmy Smith. He didn't do a bad job.
He's probably going to go back. He's probably going to go back and do that and the MMA content that he was doing. He's a busy guy with the podcast that he does.
And this is about this is what we're going to get for at least 3, maybe 4 months until Pat McAfee comes back from College Game Day, and then they're going to have to switch this shit around again.
And then McAfee will go back to SmackDown. Wade will go back to NXT, and then boom. A lot of people think it's going to be 3-man, but it's going to be 2-man.
Can I be honest? I almost hope Wade Barrett goes back to SmackDown. And they move Corey to fucking NXT.
Well, Wade Barrett is on SmackDown.
Well,
I know. I'm saying like if Corey, Pat comes back, I'm hoping they move Wade to Raw and move Corey to NXT.
Okay.
I
would rather have Wade at the table for 3 hours than Corey.
He's done a great job. Imagine if they would have had they wouldn't because they basically do the same job. Pat and Wade do a show together, but they do the same job, so it could never happen.
Exactly.
But I'm really happy for them, man. I'm happy for these changes. I'm forward to see tomorrow SmackDown. So I mean, who gets?
It's Booker. Booker's just filling in.
He's filling in. He's not gonna stay. I don't think
you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear a lot of shucky ducky quack quack.
Shucky ducky quack quack quack.
Okay, he might even bring back like his fave 5 for NXT and just start promoting certain people. But
I will not.
You'll get that for like 3-4 months, and then he'll be gone, and Pat will come back, and they'll adjust.
That's it. Roxanne's winning the title next month now that Booker is on commentary.
Oh, that is right. Hey, you're calling it right now.
Reality of wrestling, homie.
Right now at 10:33 Eastern Standard Time, October 6th.
I'm noting it.
I'm noting it down right there.
I'm writing it. Roxy becomes NXT Women's Champ. Sorry, Mandy.
Oh man, but yes.
Sorry, a year's too much for you, you know.
No, shout out to Wade Barrett though, because I love that guy in the ring, but on commentary since like NWA Power. So I'm excited to see him get on SmackDown and work with Cole.
The very beginning, yeah, he did a great job.
Right after they got rid of Corny. if you remember when NWA Power debuted, they had Corny at the table. He said,
bullshit.
And they fired his ass over it.
And
then they brought in Wade Barrett to replace him. And then eventually he moved on to NXT.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I love that dude at the table. He is fucking amazing.
He is. He's had a great transition over from wrestling to commenting.
Oh, let's get into it, man. For Friday night, you have, of course, Bound for Glory. And there you go for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward on Impact Plus and on YouTube. For God's sakes, guys, it won't hurt to pay a couple bucks to help Impact your wrestling, because you know what? And I think all of us here hardly talks about Impact, but this card itself looks fantastic. I'm happy for Raven being in the Hall of Fame. I'm looking forward for that. And man, and of course, Brian Myers is going to be, of course, open challenge for the media championship. You have the open shot, your gauntlet match, opening the show. Mia Yim versus Mickie James. The X Division title on the line. This is Mike Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey versus Frank Kazarian. The Knockouts Women's Tag Team titles, VXT versus Death Dolls was Havoc and Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah.
And of course, the Impact Tag Team Championships, the OGK, of course, the original Kingdom right there, Motor City Machine Guns, the Knockouts Women's Championship, Jordan Grace defending it versus Masha Stamovich, and the main event for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, Josh Alexander versus Eddie Edwards. Man, which match you guys are looking forward to, man? That is fire, to be honest, man.
Man, that whole ass card. No, honestly, I think the Knockouts tag title match is going to be amazing. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been a huge fan of Jessica Havoc for the longest fucking time.
Underrated.
And the way that she has changed her whole gimmick and character and persona into this like nubile baby demon sort of thing is just mwah. Like, I fucking love it. and not only that, I mean, they're four of the best women in wrestling in a tag match. You can't go wrong with that. But like damn near every match on the card looks amazing. I mean, Eddie Edwards and Josh Alexander should put on an absolute show. But I'm looking forward to that Knockouts tag title match myself.
Okay.
Right. When we get off, I'm going to be watching, of course, Impact on YouTube. I'll be watching that when we get off so I can catch the go home edition of it. But put the matches up, because it's like there's so many good ones. It's like they've done like a great job. Like, I'm wondering who answers the call for Brian Myers. Like, I watched it last week where he came out and was like, I've beaten everybody for the digital media title these past 3 months. Like, there's no one left for me to beat. So I'm just gonna throw my
go-to is usually Jeremy Prophet, but I know he's down working at the Nightmare Factory.
So it's like so I got a lot of
congratulations anyway.
So I got a lot of intrigue in that match, because I'm like, who's going to challenge him? Who's going to pop up? It could be anybody and anybody. Like, so.
And if
I got a lot of intrigue in that. Yeah,
can I ask you all a question real quick? Did any of you believe that Mickie James was actually going to retire?
No.
Me neither. Okay.
She's not ready. She is not ready to retire. She has a lot to go, man. She got like at least another year or so.
She's too damn good. I knew it was bullshit.
Matt, like, you would have to watch the past year of Brian Myers. That's why. He's done
Brian
a great
Myers
job. Yeah,
I love
transition his character as like the most professional wrestler in Impact. He's just redefined his character so far.
He
Impact
actually wins every once in a while. That's new.
Yeah, Impact has given him freedom with his character, which is something that he needed, especially once Cardona left and got hurt, and it just came back for NWA. I'm looking forward to that. Speedball Mike Bailey versus Frankie Kazarian. That's going to be high octane match. Like, of course, Speedball is going to win, but I'd be interested if Kazarian were to actually win that, because
can Frankie bring Tracy Brooks back?
She was there last. When it was,
she was there.
Honor No More versus Impact.
Yeah.
She was
right.
She was there. Yeah, Team Impact. She was there.
I'd love to see her come back with Frankie for that match. And anything Speedball I'm in on, but an Impact original, hell yeah.
I'm gonna go with Jordan Grace and Masha Slamovich. I think that's gonna be a very good match. They've been booking Masha as undefeated, of course. She just had a awesome Monsters Ball match right after Jordan Grace had to fight a tough matchup at the Impact Plus pay-per-view. She had a tough one there, which was great. I think that's going to be great. I think they're shaping up Slamovich to win the title here and be one of those heel undefeated wrestlers. She doesn't look the part, but she acts the part of a dominant wrestler with their personality. And you're starting to see a little bit more personality out of her now. She just goes in there. She's
just picture Jade now. Cargill, but better.
Yes. Jade's better on the mic, and Jade's better on the mic, and she has the better look. But Masha is the better wrestler.
In ring, all Masha
has the better gimmick. Exactly.
I'll tell you this, man. I'm with you. That match, that Monsters Ball match that Masha had with Ali Catch, it was insane. Brutal. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And how we gonna go? And how we gonna go talk about these and not mention the Motor City Machine Guns against
OGK?
OGK.
That's what I mean. Pick a match. They're all fire. You're not wrong.
Exactly. I think Motor City Machine Guns should win this match. They should win this match. Get that big moment towards the end of their career. And, Matt just said she sounds like the most 80s wrestling name. It definitely does. But
okay, Ridley, you're not wrong.
She's like the female version of Ivan Drago. It's pretty much. I will crush you.
Break you.
I must break you.
Yeah.
Remember, oh God, I can't remember the character from Glow, but it was in the series.
Oh yes. Oh
yes.
In Mother Russia,
Mother Russia. Yes.
That's Masha.
That's great. Oh my!
She's a total throwback to that Glow character, man.
Oh my God! But the whole card is fucking stacked, man. It's gonna be a hell of a banger. TK, there you go.
TK, we see you. We got
the
you.
real
Even
TK. We got you, bro. But man,
you're probably asleep somewhere, but we still got you.
I feel that the main event's gonna be. I think.
It's going to be as expected.
Eddie Edwards. I think Eddie Edwards might win this shit. I think he might be the one taking the belt.
How good has he gotten in the past 6 years, going from just winning the title because they needed to take it off of Bobby when of course Steve Richards got hurt when they're at the highest as the American Wolves to then going into hardcore Eddie Edwards. And then now it's like each year, like he's just developing this new layer of his character. And now he's with Honor No More, and he's like, F Impact, I'm gonna win this title, and I'm gonna make heel something of it. Yeah,
that heel turn when Honor No More came in, holy shit, that was a moment.
And then him with his wife Alicia, he was like, no, he was like, they did this to me, they disrespected us. And you're just going to stay with them.
Alicia is always against him. Don't go after Sammy. Don't turn. Don't.
He found the name. Zoya the Destroyer. There you go.
Zoya the Destroyer. Thank you. Thank you, Riddler. I knew it was the Glow character. I couldn't remember the damn name.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's Masha Slamovich. No lie.
Yes. Oh, my God. You know what? I'm with you. That I think if Eddie winning it all, because the way how he ever since his first run with the belt wasn't the best. I hate to say that, but I think this run that I think will be better because even
the second one wasn't great. The second one he won at Battle for Glory because of Tessa Blanchard going away to Mexico, and she hasn't been found since. But
she's been everywhere
because she was supposed to do that match at Battle for Glory. And then
Eric Young win it after Tessa went to Mexico?
No. Eddie Edwards won it, and then that he wanted from Eddie Edwards.
Yeah, Eric Young
Okay,
got it
I
from
thought
there.
Tessa sent it back, and then he debuted at like
No.
Slammiversary and won it that
No,
night.
no, he debuted at Slammiversary. He didn't win it until like a month after Bound for Glory when there was no crowd.
My bad. I knew it was no crowd, but I had it mixed up.
Yeah, she just disappeared for like 5 months.
It's late on the East Coast, guys. I apologize.
But I am looking forward. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Now we got to move into another prediction. So the other prediction, of course, happening Saturday, and that is Extreme Rules.
Papa H. Get that music again. God damn it.
Yeah.
Papa, right? Hell yeah. Papa H, Extreme Rules, again with 6 matches on this card. He is really doing it like takeover style, and I am fucking loving it. And man, let's just get into the damn card. And the beauty of it that all of them have different stipulations. That's the fucking beauty of it. Oh, thank you, Papa H. Thank you. You're making shit happen. You're making Extreme Rules what's supposed to be, Vinny. So that's thank you.
Watchable.
Yeah.
Yes, fucking watchable. Exactly. But man, let's get into the fucking first match. Quid match. Finn Balor versus Edge. Take it to you, DOM. Who do you got on this one?
Oh man. As long as the top rope doesn't break this year, I'll be good. Like, I don't care who wins. I was so mad for Finn last year. As long as the top rope don't break. Like, no, I think at this point, Finn Balor needs that win. Like, Judgment Day's back on track. They got Baby Guerrero in the building finally. And he's Rhea's poppy, or Rhea's baby, which is just crazy. She's his poppy. Like they're finally starting to get to a spot where they're reestablished because Edge was removed from the group. For Finn Balor to lose this match would set them back. And not only that, I'm almost wondering if maybe AJ Styles comes around and helps Finn beat Edge to get revenge on Edge and join his buddy.
Ooh.
You saw him kind of mad after that tag match.
Yeah.
And you saw him kind of thinking about what Finn had said before he got his ass kicked again. Maybe AJ Styles getting sick of getting his ass kicked. I'm just saying.
I'm with you on that. Dan, what do you got?
I got Finn Balor, but I think I got a different take on it.
Uh-oh.
What if Beth Phoenix comes out and that's why he says I quit? Because you got Rhea Ripley grab her and she starts beating on her, and to the point where they're like, just say I quit or we're gonna hurt her. We're gonna break her arm or something like that, you know. And it's like that would be his one weakness, is his family, is his wife, Beth Phoenix. And they've been talking about get her into the whole thing as well. And you haven't seen her. You saw her go in, what was it, a month ago to save him, and then she disappeared again. This would be a way to get her back into the ring for a potential match at Survivor Series. You could get her involved, where you have like 3 guys in a car against 3 guys in a car. You know, like with the Survivor Series match, you need that female involved in the match to kind of go against Rhea Ripley. And the only one I can think of is Beth Phoenix. And this is a way to interject her into the storyline.
They did tease us with that.
Yeah,
that's very true.
A while back.
Very thin, like a month ago. So I could see that being how he says I quit. Just that, like, he's not necessarily getting beaten up. It's just that he wants them to stop hurting her, or Rhea stop hurting her. So he just says I quit to end the match, give them the win, and then to advance the storyline a little bit more.
I like that. I like that theory. I really do. And I see Randy Sam giving his theory here on the comments, saying that we might see the Good Brothers show up. So either hear me out. No guys, Edge loses by Rhea bringing out the best attack.
I don't think that happens. There's too much involved with that.
Yeah, I don't really think we need the club back in WWE either.
Well,
I like it.
Well,
my bad, Matt. I said Riddler. I meant Ritter. My bad.
Well, considering Machine Gun is never openweight champion right now, and he has to defend it next month, it's kind of a conflict of interest if he came into WWE on Saturday.
It will be. I like both of you guys. How you guys? I mean, shit. There's a lot of theories to this. I mean, there's so many ways how this could be played. Like, I still want Finn. I mean, Judgment needs to win. I feel like if Edge wins, then what is the point of Judgment Day anyways? You're having him lose almost every other fucking week. You're gonna have him making him lose already here. Like, what's the point of the Judgment Day then? I mean, we're gonna see him like Retribution. Yeah. I don't want to see him like Retribution.
No.
If you go and have,
they need to be. They need to be more Hurt Business and less Retribution.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
It's like if you have Finn lose, it'd be like, oh, this is a group that all they did was brainwash a child to go against his father. That's it.
Which we all wanted, so thank you. But I mean, it's a big thing, but they still need more.
Oh, I don't think AJ joins Judge.
I think he does.
I don't think he does because. What was the point of him? Like they made a big deal out of nowhere of showcasing the fact that he did a couple live events with against Roman Reigns. Like he did a couple of live events. I have a feeling that he doesn't, and then down the line he's going to go for the world title. That's where he actually gets used as a main event talent.
What if he joins Judgment Day so that the numbers game is even with the Bloodline?
So you're gonna have two heel factions go up against each other?
Why the hell not? I wouldn't mind that. Why not?
Heel on heel crime is amazing, and it rarely happens.
Dijakovic joins Judgment Day. I mean, I wouldn't mind Dijakovic being in the Judgment Day either.
Does he get to be Dijakovic again, or is he still T-Bar? Because there's a big difference.
Hell yes.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
Your eyes.
Yes. Man, I seriously thought that dude was stalking my family throughout his pro wrestling career because he started out in ROH as Donovan Dijak, and Donovan is my son's name, and then he went to NXT and he became Dominic, and I was like, wait a minute!
hey, that's conflict of interest because what's Ray's son's name? Dominic.
I'm your puppy.
You got your name for me.
See, look, you and De Niro saying exactly. Remember, he told you, like, hey, versus the Bloodline in War Games. War Games. That could happen. Have AJ join. There you go. Bloodline versus.
There you go.
If they do like a Raw versus SmackDown, I could see it.
And Lord knows, I bet Rhea Ripley could fuck Sami Zayn up. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
She's bigger than Sami.
Oh, man.
Beautiful. Bigger than Sami.
Man, we got a good old-fashioned Donnybrook matchup here. Got the Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes.
Break out the shillelaghs.
Break out the shillelaghs. Banger, TK.
That's what I'm praying for, man. I'm praying.
Man. I'm praying for a banger right here, man. Please.
The whole car, I'm like, please, you can't bring this shit to Philly and call it Extreme and have it suck. Because those people won't make it out of the building. Am I wrong, Dan? Dan? If that show sucks and it's in Philly and it's got Extreme attached to it, that building is getting burnt down with everybody in it.
They had to do something with the big event that they're having in Atlantic City. They had to.
We in Philly have done worse for less, is all I'm saying. Love us or hate us, and I love you, but we have done worse for less. So if they break out shillelaghs and start having some cartoon war, it could lead to some shit.
Fucking beer glass everywhere too. I better see all of that.
Right? Break out the James Storm candy glass beer bottles.
You're gonna see Dave Finley run out of nowhere and then just run past the screen.
Hey, if I see Hornswoggle running out of nowhere,
oh my god! Could you imagine Hornswoggle popping out from under the ring and like shoot somebody with a fireball or some shit?
He hits Ludwig in the head, like, and then just disappears again.
Oh my god! I wish Pepsi Phil was watching. He is like the
God.
president of the Hornswoggle Appreciation Society. He would love this shit.
Oh yes! Oh my god! I can just picture Hornswoggle out of nowhere.
And let's not forget that tomorrow they're having.
I can't get the image out of my head. I'm sorry, Dan. I just like cracking Gunther in the head with a fucking shillelagh while he's down in the ring.
I fucking love it,
dude. Irish for life.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, real tears, folks.
But like you know how Ridge Holland has to hold Butch away. He's like, come on, get back. I'm just picturing Finley holding back Hornswoggle from getting into the match.
You know, like
get back,
Ridge is holding
back,
Butch,
go
but
back
Butch
into
is
the
holding Hornswoggle. Like, no, you can't go either if I can't. You let them go, they start humping people's legs. It's crazy.
Yeah. Who can do it faster, Butcher? Who can do it faster, Butcher? Who can do it faster, Butcher? Hornswoggle.
Oh God, we're going back to the Attitude Era. We got a pump contest. We get a little counter. Ding, 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 ding. Shit.
Oh shit.
I'm talking about TV mature.
Thank God he put that MA shit up. Woo.
Who do you got, Dom? Who do you got in this one?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Imperium. I mean, nothing against the Brawling Brutes, but they've been hot. They just got back together. Gunther is actually bringing prestige back to the Intercontinental title. I think somehow they managed to beat these brutes at technically their own game, even though it's basically Sheamus's game. Like, you know, because he's the only Irish one, really. Out of the three, there's Sheamus. You know, that's it. So I think Imperium, they're a little bit more focused. They're a little bit more violent, and you know, getting them back together was a wonderful idea.
Thank God.
Give them the win. Let them keep skyrocketing. It's not going to hurt the Brawling Brutes at this point. People seem to fucking love Sheamus since that match at Clash at the Castle, and I don't blame them. Even the Brutes are starting to get even Ridge and Butch. I don't want to call them that, but I'm gonna have gotten a little further, you know, with the crowd and that sort of thing.
See, they changed on NXT. I guess they changed the Brawling Brutes music.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was really good. I loved it too. All right. What do you got, Dan?
Well, first, they're having the IC title on SmackDown tomorrow between Sheamus and Gunther. I think Gunther's going to win that with a little bit of help. And then with this one being a day later, I got the Brawling Brutes because I feel like, okay, Gunther's going to retain. He's going to keep himself intact, look dominant, but then it's going to come in here. He doesn't have to play a factor in the decision. And I feel like Ludwig's going to wind up taking the pin. I think you have the Brawling Brutes pull this one out. Slugfest. This is going to be a great match. And it's a way for the Brawling Brutes to go over on this match without hurting Gunther at all.
You're absolutely. I can see that. I'm sorry I had to mute myself, but Brian's comment just had me dying again, so I didn't want to laugh over your.
If Hornswoggle showed up in Philly, the Sandman needs to treat him like a piñata, well away with a barbed wire pen and drink a cup of beer and light up a cigarette.
Right. If the Sandman shows up in the arena in this day and age, he's gonna show up with a White Claw and a fucking vape.
Okay, can I say that wouldn't be the first time something like that happened in Philly?
No, it wouldn't. Not even close. That's pretty much a Tuesday in Philly. I'm not gonna. Yeah. But yeah, seriously, if Sandman shows up in the arena, it's gonna be like White Claw vape.
Oh man, I love it.
They can't use Enter Sandman, but you know.
I know they can't sucks, man. Yeah, I'm with you too, man. I think I'm with you. I got to go with Dan on this one. I think the Brawling Brutes will win because how you mentioned about tomorrow night SmackDown, Gunther will retain the IC versus Sheamus, and that's going to be a banger match. I'm hoping will be so TK banger. So, and I'm looking forward to see how that one turns up. Banger, banger, banger. Oh,
I always wanted to do that. Banger, banger, banger.
and potentially they're going to have another faction on SmackDown because apparently Legado del Fantasma might appear on SmackDown tomorrow because they're going to be on the Blue Brand.
Allegedly.
Let me go ahead and introduce, of course, this man right here. That is right, the Invisible Man of
Hey! You can't see me.
MGC Matt Callis is here, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I don't have the glasses right now, but I've got a really great pillow for my butt. So,
oh my god!
I mean, comfort is key.
Yep.
What's up, Mr. Callis?
Hello, Dan.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Hello.
It's great
What's
to be
going
back.
on? Awesome. We're almost, we're getting through the Extreme Rules card, which we're gonna have this one, the SmackDown Women's Championship, in an Extreme Rules match. Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey.
In a buried alive match.
That's
DOM.
No, I'm just kidding.
Who do you got, DOM?
I
on this
wish.
one?
Can Ronda just bury Liv alive so we never have to fucking see her again? That would be my dream come true. I mean, I'm sorry. I know some people out there like her, but I have said it from before she won it, during, and I will say it after. Liv is mid as fuck. Even people were saying, well, if you don't want Liv to have the title, who do you think should have beat Ronda? I'm like, Toxic Attraction helps Mandy win the ladder match and beat Ronda. There you go. There's a deserving woman. Liv is mid.
I can't wait.
Ronda kicks the shit out of her.
There's one problem though. Ronda can't wrestle.
Oh,
she's still a better wrestler than Liv.
I don't know about that because
I don't know about that. I can't. That's debatable right there.
That is debatable. I'm just gonna fall with my back. You're hurting yourself. How's that a fucking wrestling move? Like a
at least she looks like, at least she looks fluid in the ring.
On the rope and then falls on her back with the person on top of her. She just pinned herself. You call that wrestling? Fuck that shit. That bitch is mid, and I know Ronda is not the greatest wrestler in the world, but she
hops in the ring like a rabbit.
That's
her trying to fight, hopping in the ring like this, looking tough.
See, look, even De Niro putting leave Liv alone, man. Hashtag that.
No. Get Liv out my face. I will leave her alone.
I'm gonna go. You know, this is what's gonna happen. It's come to this. It's come to this because, of course, I don't want Ronda. You don't want Liv. So what's gonna happen is Liv's gonna win by disqualification because Charlotte's gonna come out and attack both of them, and then Charlotte's gonna win.
Rules match.
It's still gonna happen.
if someone gets DQ'd in an Extreme Rules match, buildings burning down. We went over this.
I think Liv's gonna win, is what I'm saying, and then I think it's gonna wind up being Charlotte's gonna wind up winning at Survivor Series. I think she's gonna come back.
Charlotte,
I think she's gonna come back because there's people that like Liv, people that hate her, but no one's buying into Ronda Rousey right now. No one is. Like she hasn't really done enough for me. She shows up and she just messes up everything that she does. I don't believe anything that's going on. She hasn't gotten any better. It's the point where people are like, okay, I don't like Liv, but she's better than Rousey right now. And we really don't have anybody to put the belt on right now. They could have put it on Shayna Baszler, but
yes.
All right,
so that's who they could have stuck it on.
Let me let this other individual in, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, the director himself.
I was rocking, man.
Can we just play that the rest of the episode?
Right, I was rocking, and all of a sudden it cut off. It was like, oh, Chris is there. Damn.
All right. Yes. I mean, so you say Charlotte will come back then, right? That's what you say.
Yeah.
On this one.
Yeah, I think she does.
It'd be time. She's been on that solo honeymoon for like what?
Almost 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Like Andrade's supposed to be. Maybe that's why he got in the fight. Maybe he wanted to go be with Charlotte.
It's probably why I want to go home to my wife.
He's like, she's on the honeymoon without me. Fuck this.
That's exactly what I think Malachi Black is doing. Malachi is definitely like, I'm going home to mama. So,
right? You can't blame me. Well, can't blame Malachi for that. I mean, Zelina.
Yeah, I mean, it's a loved one. Why would you not want to work with within the same company? Like Canellis stick together, so it works out. Stuff like that.
Right?
Do you guys want to give your take on
married,
this one?
You got Adam and Britt together,
Matt Callis, director. Who wins this one?
I mean, they have to give it to Karrion. Otherwise, what's the point of bringing them back?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe the next match.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the home team for our boy.
Yeah, a loss won't hurt Drew like it would hurt Karrion, and it's a protected loss in a sense that it's not going to. I mean, it's a gimmick match with a weapon, and I don't know. You win you just have a strap, right? You don't tap out. You just get pinned.
No, it's not a Texas like tornado.
It's not to touch all four corners.
The Caribbean strap match. Yeah.
So like Karrion can win this, and it's not going to hurt Drew's stock at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Callis?
Yeah, 100%. I really want our boy Karrion. Just it's gonna make him look pretty good, especially coming out with this win. So I and especially kind of the whole lore of like how dangerous he is and powerful he is.
Okay. DOM.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Karrion Kross in this one. As Chris said, he's got a weapon. He's also got smoking hot help on the outside. And if Drew loses, it's like, who's going to give a fuck? Like, what's going to do to him? Nothing. If Karrion Kross loses, where does he go? What does he do? Nothing. He goes home. He goes back to PCW or some shit, because they've got nothing for him. So
I would say this: what is he doing right now? Because he really hasn't been on the show that much. He pops up here and there, and then
I mean, it's ominous for sure, and he does do run-ins. He hasn't. I don't think he's had a match, right? It's just
I think he's
had
like 2 matches.
It was like 1 or 2, but it's like he'll appear, and then you have a couple of vignettes. And then he'll appear like 3 weeks later, and then he had a couple of run-ins.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the Aleister Black debut, only a little more intriguing because he's not just sitting in a closet going, "I want someone to pick a fight with me."
I think they're gonna put crossover. I'm with you guys. You wouldn't have him lose his first match. They could have done a better job of booking him into the first match where he actually appeared more on the program. But they'll have him win somehow. Probably Scarlett will distract Drew, or somebody will come in to help Karrion Kross, and he'll pick up the victory. He'll probably choke him out with the strap.
The booking was simple for Karrion Kross. If there's a guy named Drew, put him in the ring with him. Drew Gulak, Drew McIntyre. That's all we got. Okay, we'll wait till Extreme Rules. Where's your booking?
There you go. And then, of course, we do have the Raw Women's Championship, the first ever ladder match in a main roster for the women. They had it at NXT when it was Mia Yim and Io Shirai.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was like, this can't be the first ever ladder match
in a main roster.
Singles ladder match, right?
No.
Because Charlotte and was it Charlotte Becky fought Asuka and fuck.
Oh no. It was Charlotte, Becky, Asuka triple threat match, and I think it was No Way Out. But that was
they had a ladder match.
We also had the that Halloween.
But I could have swore they had the tag match with the Kabuki Warriors at a ladder match too.
I think we had Io Shirai against Candice LeRae in one too.
Yeah, that's the Halloween.
That's right.
Yes. Halloween Havoc. Yeah,
Halloween Havoc. Yeah.
That was. I mean,
that was when Indy Hartwell showed up.
That was the.
But I would say this was the first singles main roster. This is the first one in the main roster.
Yeah.
So this is the first one.
Singles ladder match, yes.
In the main roster though. That's like the first ever for the women.
Okay, I'm
So,
sorry.
I mean-
I got picky. My bad, dude.
Well, who do you got, director? I'll go with you. Bianca or Bailey?
I need to see what happens on the go home show of SmackDown because I did fully watch Raw start to finish, and I don't want to say I didn't like, but it had to set something up that both Candice lost, right? Candice lost and Alexa Bliss lost. And so to me, I use like MMA math where it's like, oh, two good guys losing on the go home show means they're winning at the pay-per-view premium live event. That logic does exist, but I don't know if it applies to this. I could see Bailey getting it and just having the heel faction hold all the gold. That's what people want to see as far as like they love to hate that shit. So that makes sense. There's obviously going to be interference. Is there a what are they called? A power sponge, Excel power? What are they? Control power? Control.
Damage control.
Damage control.
Fucking dumb. Whatever.
I was like,
Power
oh, what? Power sponge?
Power punch. Dakota
Suck it
Kai
all in, man.
The shower cap adjusters.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a tag match where they have the belts. If they're defending it all and there's some fuckery afoot, like I can expect also this could be where they pull the Banks Naomi button and hit fucking red alert, and that can be a factor in the entire night, whether it's in the damage control tag match or even in this main event here, or not main event, but women's title match. Bianca's on. Her back must be sore because she is carrying the division right now. Putting it on Bailey though, you know, you only root for the champ. Like you root for the good guy when they're going for the belt. You know, that's the story. I can see Bailey taking it and moving on, you know, from the feud with Bianca. That's I mean, I don't want to see it, but that just makes sense.
Okay. How about you, Matt Callis? What do you got on this one?
Yeah, you know, Bailey's been a mainstay, but Bianca, I think I'll go for Bianca on this one. You know, for hair whipping reasons.
Dan, who do you got on this one?
Ding dong. I got Bailey.
Hello.
I think this is the prime time to put it on her. You have a match where it's a ladder match, so technically Bianca doesn't have to get pinned, so it doesn't really carry her momentum too bad. Like she'll lose the title, but it's always like a special match like this kind of protects her in a way still because she's not getting pinned. She's just losing it because she could get attacked by all three members and then Bailey could climb up and get the belt. I feel like perfect time to put it on her because I feel like we're just about around that time to where Becky's going to show back up soon.
I forgot about Becky. You're right about
I
that.
could see her show back up and
is she injured? I didn't know she was missing.
Yeah. She got hurt in the match at
Mania.
Yeah. Not Mania. She had the injury.
SummerSlam.
But apparently she
I noticed it was gone. I didn't know if that was just lack of story for her.
Interesting.
Tegan Knox shows up. Okay. Damage control. Okay, that could happen.
Yeah. But like just with the fact that it's a ladder match, it makes it easier for them to put it on Bailey.
How funny would it? I don't see the comments. Actually, I'd have to click over here on the right side of there we go. Comments. Whoever brought up Tegan Knox, how fucking wild? How wild would it be, Tim, if at the entrance of Dakota Kai coming out, Tegan Knox comes out and just wrecks her like she did at the
Shark Cage.
Just fucking wrecks her at the entrance ramp, and then it's
like
just,
Shark Cage revenge.
Yeah, just straight revenge. I will love that. That would be clever storytelling, almost 2 years in the making.
Chris, say this say first verse, same as the first. I mean, second
verse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't Boris get to the chorus. Songwriting 101.
I know Tegan Knox has had issues with her passport, so
her visa and shit.
Yeah, that's why she hasn't been in any company. She's been stuck in New Zealand or Australia. I forget which one she's at. She's been stuck there for months. So it could be. I've always thought that. I thought she was the woman in the red hoodie on NXT. I thought that was Tegan Knox, but I'd be down for it if she was on the main roster.
Okay. DOM, take it away.
Man, first and foremost, I think Power Sponge would be like a great metal band.
That's a real thing, right? That's the thing you put inside your computer, I think. I feel
Like that would just be a
Power
great,
Sponge,
like
shower
hardcore metal name. Power Sponge, you know. Not
So
the fuck up, but yeah.
Oh, it's
But
okay. Yeah.
getting
it's
back to the match, could I see them turning Damage Control into the female bloodline? Yeah, but I still have to go with Bianca. I mean, she's been the hottest woman in WWE for at least the last year.
Oh, definitely.
At least.
Yeah,
I feel like though
she's on her way to GOAT status.
And I know like Bailey's back, that's cool. You know, Becky's on the mend, she'll be back. Eventually Charlotte will end the honeymoon. But Bianca has carried that division this entire time. And Bailey just got here. It's like, and Bianca's beaten her like multiple fucking times already. And she's got back up too. So I think Bianca retains the title, regardless of whatever fuckery may ensue around them.
Okay.
I think you need somebody though to counteract her because she's been so good. But then when you look at it, Charlotte's been out. Becky just went out. Her and Becky had a good rivalry where Becky had the title for a while and kind of helped create the whole Bianca Belair allure right now of her.
Yeah.
Because of that great rivalry.
Oh no, Bailey is perfect for this situation. I just don't think she's going to win.
And you can create because Bailey's always been great. Bailey was a double champion for almost a year. And the women's tag and then the SmackDown Championship, and she did a great job.
Yeah, she's
and
one
then
of the
it was kind of
Grand Slam champions of the women's division.
And then it's kind of funny because when she got hurt, she was supposed to face Bianca, and then she got hurt, and then of course Carmella took her place, and it's kind of fit in that they kind of revisit this now because of when she got hurt, they were supposed to fight each other for the belt, and that's when she created this whole hero character, the ding dong crazy.
I love that character. I was never feeling the hugger, but this heel character, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I could see her winning it because Belair, she doesn't need the belt anymore. I think she's bigger than the belt at the point, and you want to put it on Bailey, have Bianca chase it, and then get Becky Lynch back, and then you're building up that Raw division again with how they're doing.
This is why I see
building to a feud between Power Sponge and the Fur.
or the what is Matt? What do you call him? Firm ass?
The firm ass.
Firm ass.
And if you add big ass to that, the big.
Thank you for taking that and running with it, Randy.
Look, I want to say this one. This one, I wanted to say that I think it's going to be a great match. It's going to be a co-main event. That's why I put it as a co-main event. I hope they try to do a chemistry of like Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, not WrestleMania 10, but I will say SummerSlam with a rematch.
It's going to sound bad, but like the female clique. It's not a myth. It exists.
It exists.
Yeah. Oh no, it exists.
It exists. I am the clique commander.
I have seen my wife's clique, and I am not trying to fuck with them.
It's like Jenny in accounting and you know everybody else.
So
that is true, Ed.
And
that's why I've said.
Well, what are you asking?
I'm guessing if I guess he's asking if Bianca retaining is predictable, or I mean it would be either way. It's kind of predictable. We're going to have the champ retain, or we're going to have the female bloodline, which we already have.
Okay.
So Hunter's just trying to make the best out of the situation.
I see. let's get into the main event, man. This is the one I want to talk to. The fight pit match. Seth freaking Rollins versus Matt Riddle, and the guest referee. It's not Ken Shamrock, unfortunately. It's none other.
Do you quit? Do you give up?
Do you quit?
Do you quit?
Do you quit?
Bro,
That
was 30 years ago. I remember it like it was 30 seconds ago.
Yep.
Did you hear that? Did you hear Seth Rollins reached out to Cormier? It wasn't WWE. It was Seth who reached out to him to do it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Is that kayfabe or is that shoot? Like, is that in the storyline or is that in real life?
No, like we're like to go do this. Like Seth asked him to do it. Yeah.
Who the fuck photoshopped Daniel Cormier down to 185 pounds?
Right.
Cormier
Didn't
is
he do
like
that
20
YouTube video where he was dancing, singing "I'm all about that cake" and shit back in the Megan Trainor days, and you're talking about he's that skinny now.
Yeah, that was his first time fighting against DC. That photo.
I'm gonna save you director best for last because I want to get your take on it. But let me round robin start off with Dom, then Dan, then Matt Callis, and then you last. Dom, take it away.
You know, I'm extremely excited for this match. I love the fight pit. You're probably gonna guess, but can you guess which person on our show actually has a problem with the fight pit and isn't interested and doesn't look forward to it?
Bruce.
Bingo.
Of course.
What the
Why am I
fuck,
surprised?
man? This is one of my favorite matches. Like, me and my buddies would sit around. I brought one of my friends on back in the day after the last fight pit match, and we were putting MCs in a fight pit, like booking them. Like, I love this shit. I'm excited for it. I can't wait. As far as predictions, I mean, outside of pain, I think maybe Riddle has the advantage in this, and not just because he was a cage fighter. Like, you got to knock somebody out or you got to make them quit. You ever seen Seth do either one of those things? Ever.
Okay. All right.
I might have to take Riddle in this one. And even Riddle's, I don't think he's ever won a fight pit. I think he had, the one match with Thatcher and lost?
Yeah, that's it.
Only
Thatcher did both.
So he gets his redemption and his revenge against Seth at the same time.
Okay. Go ahead, Dan. Take it away.
I got Matt Riddle. I think he wins it. Of course, Seth got the win that he needed at Clash at the Castle. He's been playing these games with Matt. Got us to see the more serious side of Riddle instead of just all the joking around and bro. This is what we've needed. Like a kind of a more of a character from Matt, where he wants to be serious, wrestle, and get down into a serious feud. So I think they pulled the trigger on Matt beating Seth.
Okay, love it. Matt Callis.
All right, you guys, I think the other thing that comes into this equation, other than who your favorite is this we're working the shoot? Are we shooting the work? Are we more toward, is it 100% shoot, 100% work? Because, Seth, how's Seth's reputation as of today as a smooth worker?
Number one guy, to be honest with you, on Raw.
You'd say he's the smooth,
nowadays, yeah.
You'd say he's
just
like
put out.
Not at first, but now, yeah.
Would you say he's like the safest worker
right now? He
nowadays?
is
like the safest.
He just put out like a whole. He just put out a thing saying that match with Cody saved his like everybody's opinion of him in the back as working safe.
Yeah,
that's good. So, despite this, coming into the quay, I mean, this might be more of a work and could be a toss up. But if they really want to shoot like a machine gun, then you're gonna go with Riddle. But it doesn't seem it doesn't seem like that kind of thing, because he's got Seth's got the character, he's got the, he's got the walk like like an Egyptian by the Bengals, you know, and he does the same
What the fuck?
walks like
an Egyptian while wearing his wife's wardrobe and shit.
Yeah. You get the Bengals to do their own version of that song. I don't know, but you know, it's. I mean, if he's got the character, this is more of a work. So you know, it's still a toss up. So I guess maybe popularity would go off Seth. You know, I mean, I don't know how crazy the crowd is about Riddle at the moment. You know, I haven't gauged it. You know,
Yeah.
You're not wrong, Randy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
If we end with Brock and Daniel Cormier at Crown Jewel, I won't be surprised.
That's why I say the director for last, because he knows. Take it away.
They got that history.
Yeah, Randy pretty much nailed it. Daniel Cormier may be an MMA fighter, but he has this weird thing where he doesn't know why he's not over in real life. Like, he doesn't understand why he got booed versus Anderson Silva. He doesn't understand why people still cheered for John Jones in both their fights. He has this weird thing where he needs to be liked in the shoot capacity in MMA, which is obviously literally shoot.
Yeah.
So for him, the easiest path to be relevant is to be a heel. And he's going to do that because he is an openly pro wrestling fan. He's the only person on an MMA podcast or during MMA fights that will like reference pro wrestling, and he kind of gets mocked a little bit. And yeah, it's going to make a lot of sense for him to turn on Riddle and go with Seth. That's the only way people are going to tune in to see DC. They're not going to be like, oh, did you see good guy DC stated good guy and did something completely boring and expected and just called it right down the patio? So yeah, he's going to definitely turn on.
Where's my whistle?
Yeah, right. I don't know what capacity he's going to turn on him. It might be a Montreal Screwjob type of work to shoot. That would make enough sense. I don't think he's gonna he hit it. I'm like, if you go back and watch his fights, he hit an FU on Dan Henderson in an actual.
Yeah, he really did.
He hit the FU on Dan Henderson. He hit it on Josh Barnett back in Strikeforce. So he's not above pro wrestling moves in MMA. So I don't think he's gonna be above MMA moves in pro wrestling.
He's a big wrestling fan too. So
huge.
Yeah, exactly. He's the only pro wrestling fan on a UFC broadcast. I think that's what's going to happen. To me, it's pretty fucking clear that he's going to do something to fuck over Riddle, and then Seth gets the win, and then you're going to have. I don't think DC is going to stay the way how Jon Stewart showed up, became a heel, and then left the next night. I think it's going to.
I did it for Ric Flair.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think DC is going to show up on Raw to explain himself. I think
he's got this whole.
Jon Stewart shouldn't have either. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that was the worst.
That was a horrible fucking explanation. Nobody cared.
I could see Cormier against Brock at Saudi, but then there's no way in life you would have Daniel Cormier help Seth beat Riddle, and then have Brock come out to save Matt Riddle.
That's
of
not
all things to happen.
If I know you're talking about it because you know of the history between Brock and Matt, and that would be fucking wildly hilarious. But I think
if that were to happen, I'd be flabbergasted.
Yeah, saying Brock comes out to help Riddle is like, whoa, wait a minute.
So, even if it wasn't Riddle, if it was Seth and I don't know, let's say Drew McIntyre, that booking in this match would still be a little bit, in my opinion, below what Brock would agree to, especially since he does have as much creative control as anybody on that roster. It's not a main event. It's not for a belt. He would not give a fuck about what's happening in this match.
This almost has the feel of that HBK versus Stone Cold title match where Mike Tyson was the special referee.
WrestleMania 14, motherfucker.
Yeah. And you thought he was going one way the whole time. And then all of a sudden, HBK got clocked and he ripped off the DX shirt.
Tyson, right hand.
Right. I feel like we can have something everybody thinks he's going to help Seth. And then he turns around and just cold cocks it.
Yeah, he pulls the Austin 316 shirt out. Yeah.
Pulls off the shirt pulls off the ref shirt. There's a purple shirt underneath that says bro.
Yeah. Well, you also have to consider, I don't know, this is maybe a little too deep in the storytelling, that DC is obviously adamantly an anti-doping proponent.
Oh, that's right.
And
I forgot about that.
Do not think Matt Riddle was doping. He was not. It was marijuana, but it was
it's
3
weed.
times. And it was 3 times in a row. It was still against protocol. I disagree with that, but it was what the rules were.
He's just hitting his bong going, I say up with hope and down with dope.
Yeah. I mean, he was winning those fights high as draft pussy, so give it to him, you know. Yeah, that's just how I sit. I think DC is going to just take the easy way out to be over, and that's going to be a heel turn, and Seth gets it.
All right. Now it's time to move on, man. It's about time. The final topic of this night we're talking about. No, man. You already know. It ain't no beta time. It is time for Dynamite! That is right, Dynamite. That happened, of course, 24 hours ago, the 30-year anniversary of Dynamite. And we're here to recap it. That is right. And, of course, the first matchup, the opening matchup for this match is, of course, MJF versus Wheeler Yuta. I'm going to digress very quickly. Then I'll start off with everybody else. I love MJF using that knee powerbomb. I have not seen that move in a long time.
Yeah, that's 10 times better than the lumbar check that fucking Cedric Alexander.
Yeah,
I like how he hit the knee and then he had his head hit the mat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking enjoyed
It's like JR said, you had that double impact.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh, man, I really enjoyed it. It was great. It was great overall. I liked it. I mean, it's almost teasing like we might see, MJ. I know MJF. Remember how, Jericho said, you need to turn face. You need to turn face. And this is almost like that. How would it feel to almost turn to that face if we would have shaken Wheeler Yuta's hand? But I don't know. It's how this is going to go. Throughout, him winning the championship. I don't know if it's going to be a full gear or if not maybe a Revolution or so. Not quite sure. But I even though it's been a while that we haven't seen MJF in the ring, but this was an instant classic for me. The guy still got it, man. And the way how he sells it is just so phenomenal, man. No pun intended, AJ Styles, but it's just the way how he sells and the chemistry that these two guys have. They're familiar with each other already throughout the indie scenes, MOW as well. So these guys, I enjoyed it. It was magic to be in great opening match, honestly. I fucking enjoyed it. Man, love that shit. I had to play. I gotta do it. Gotta do it, damn it. I gotta do it.
Such good shit.
Shit, damn it. DOM, take it away.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I know it was the opening match, but this was match of the fucking night. This whole thing was amazing. Like, they brought up that MJF hasn't had a match in 120 some odd days. And there are people out there, even on our network, that have said, like, oh, AEW, they have no direction. They don't know what they're doing. I'm like, did you see how quickly they built this and the payoff to it? Like, it was a beautiful fucking thing. It all started basically the night after this, the show after the scrum, and leading into this, which is a 20-minute classic that MJF pulls out by practically using the old Pentagon move in Lucha Underground, where he rolls over with the arm. I was just waiting for him to snap back and break that shit. But they had a tremendous build, a tremendous match, and then after the fact, MJF actually shakes his hand, and you're waiting for him to do one of these and walk out like he always does. But he actually shakes Wheeler Yuta's hand, and you're like, oh shit! And then here comes Stokely and Lee Moriarty to like bring it back to the dark side immediately. But I loved it. Even the drama that ensued afterwards was perfect story. He's telling them, I didn't ask you to do that. I don't want you to do that, and they're doing it anyway. It was great. It was the perfect way to start the show, and there were good matches after that. Most of the night was good, but this, to me, match of the night, easily.
Awesome. Love it.
Made me think MJF could beat Moxley. Let me put it that way.
I was rooting for him the first time that match happened.
Didn't he almost shake his hand, but then he didn't because Lee came in and hit him?
I could have swore he got the handshake in first, and then Lee hit him.
No, he was about to shake his hand, but then Lee already came, and then
he was reaching in.
He was about to do it.
That's right. He was reaching in, then he got hit, and then MJF started, why'd you do that? I didn't ask you. Yeah. Okay. I thought he actually got the full contact.
This was a program that was great for both guys. It elevated Wheeler Yuta. he showcased that he can have a great match with almost anybody now. He's got the crowd involved with them. These guys have a history. You have, of course, MJF come in, have one of his best matches, in my opinion, and showcase himself. And this is a scenario like we talked about. He's going to turn face. He's going to turn face. He can turn face and still not be a good guy. He can still be a bad guy, but be a face. It'll just be like kind of like the in between where it's like
Long Island.
Tweener.
That way, well, he still goes fuck you to
Like
other
see
guys,
Long Island,
then,
where he's pointing up to the guys in the tops in the cheeks. And you people, you're poor and you're ugly, but you're still beautiful. And they're yay. That's what he do.
And just like Jericho said, like you're gonna act as here as you want, but people will love you so much that you're just gonna organically turn into a baby face. Not on purpose. It's just gonna happen because people are buying into what you're doing, and that's what's happening now. And they're now buying him into it. They're showcasing it little by little, just like that. You thought he was gonna shake his hand. Lee was there to prevent that from actually happening, so you still have that little bit of doubt. You had what's his name come out and give him the ring. He goes to put the ring on. It looks like he's going to hit it, but then he does it, and then of course people come out then to make the save for.
Regal came out with the brass knucks, and I got hype.
Yes, the brass knucks, and then he goes. So it's going to be like that. He has the firm there for him, but they're kind of. Maybe there's going to be a situation in the future where he goes against them. And he's like, this isn't what I paid you guys for. I tell you when to come out. You guys don't just come out when you feel like it.
You work for me.
Yeah, you work for me. You don't work for yourself just to benefit me, like yourself, whatever you want to. Like he was like, I'm paying you a certain amount of money. I feel like that's going to happen in the future. Where he just cuts ties with them, and that's where the big payoff of him turning into like a legit face, like I guess the indifferent face will be. But I love this match; it was great. I'm excited to see where they take Yuta because we know where MJF is going to go, but we don't necessarily know where Yuta is going to go yet. But I know it's going to be something good.
Right,
love it, Matt Callis.
So this is a question to like my heavy metal music experts. Does anybody else think Wheeler Yuta's theme sounds like the guitar solo of She-Wolf by Megadeth?
Yes. God, my older brother listened to Megadeth all the time, and yes, it does.
That's the first thing I think, like right away. Like the second his theme plays.
Yeah, right after the ching.
You're not wrong, dude. Yeah.
Ching.
Right after it's just literally that solo, like almost note for note, like fuck.
That's Wheeler Yuta's theme. Yeah, it's like I knew I wasn't the only one.
Every time I heard it, I was like, "This shit sounds so familiar." Because my brother used to be a huge Megadeth fan, and I couldn't place it. As soon as you said it, it was like, "Ching" in my head.
Wait, me? I'm waiting for the Derby.
Yeah, that's what they're saying in the comments right there.
No, I mean, I'll speak on this match. I'm just drinking coffee, handling.
No, I know. We're just waiting on Matt to give
I got
I'm jealous, bro.
I'm constantly doing research while I'm on the pod.
I've been up since 4 a.m. I'm jealous of that coffee right now.
Oh, yeah. I had some Colombian roast with no sugar, no sweetener.
Best coffee in the world is Kirkland. Anything from Costco, bro. Just saying.
I gotta give it a try. I think I might have some on my K-cups.
I'm gonna write this in your Bible. Coffee is like weed. The cheaper, the better.
Yeah, don't pay for the name. You know.
Fact.
But yeah, I'm that way with soda too. But as for Wheeler Yuta,
yeah, for sure.
Where I think he's headed is maybe like a new coat of paint, possibly, because like you got I think of New Japan with Master Wato. He was just like a young lion, and then they made his hair blue, and they did a kung fu thing with him. So I don't know. Wheeler's got to have something like a calling card gimmick or something, like he's got to have a catchphrase. Like, I'm gonna ride these wheels all over you, and he's a trucker. I don't know.
Oh God, no.
Next generation, they want their 1992 gimmick back.
Yeah,
Right?
I think that's why he joined the Blackpool Combat Club. That was his thing, that they had him join them so they can organically.
He's already had a
help put
fresh
him over.
paint job. You remember those
Yeah.
first tights? Jesus Christ.
Let's get another one. This one's getting a little bit sandy. We gotta.
I'm loving this one. I think
I know,
that they
everybody's
use
digging
this
it.
to try and elevate Wheeler Yuta a little bit because of
I like
the
his
backstage
promo.
bullshit, people getting sent home, all that. You've got to have people that fill the void. And if you get Wheeler Yuta as like a main event type talent, even if he's not a main event winning talent, it helps you while you're working all this shit out with the slew of other people that can't stop getting into fights in the fucking locker room.
I think what I like is when the expectations for you aren't that high, you have the potential to really surprise everybody every single time. I mean, look what happened with Daniel Garcia. Like, I didn't have high expectations for him, and all these magical things happened as a result. You know, it's like a lot of people have got expectations now for what MJF does, and when they get disappointed, they get let down. I don't have high expectations of what was it? Expectations, the thief of joy. That's a phrase that's been kind of circulating in my head. You know,
I think because Taz said that, didn't he? Was that Taz?
A lot of people.
He might have been one of them, yeah.
Somebody actually said that on this episode of Dynamite.
Oh, expectations, the thief of joy. Mm-hmm.
Probably was Taz.
A lot of people are feeling that too. You know,
Might have been Riccaboni. I don't know.
Riccaboni.
It sounds like something he would say.
Love that dude, by the way.
Yeah, I love Riccaboni. But I just love. I like the match. You know, not favorite, but you know, this is like a good. For me, it was like a high quality appetizer.
Okay. Director.
Love this match. It's been 129 days since MJF's last match, and he wanted to come out and remind you that he can fucking wrestle as good as he is on the mic, and this match proved it. Here's what's going to happen in the storyline. This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. Maxwell Jacob Friedman hasn't even touched the sun with his Icarus wings as far as his heel levels go. He is going to tease this face turn to its absolute fucking peak and deck Regal right at the peak and become the greatest heel of all time. He is going to feed his breadcrumbs all the way to loving him for real. And right when that baked bun is ready to pop, he is going to explode dough all over us.
Really?
Okay.
I don't know why.
I was with you until we got to buns and dough and all that shit.
I didn't rehearse this. I didn't rehearse this at all. This is just off the cuff. But yeah, there's no fucking
That, my friends,
way.
was a shoot.
There's no way that he's not even close to becoming a face. He's going to tease that face turn all the way up until he doesn't. It can't.
Like
it
Buffalo.
Can't yeah, it cannot happen. The Long Island thing, I love the double switch there. I love that he is over in his hometown. It is great. He's even over in Chicago, which is weird. I think, didn't he get the crowd to kind of even boo see him a little bit?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it's too good to be true. I want him.
That's what might have made Punk mad in the first place. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think he's going to make Mr. Perfect, Roddy Piper, and Superstar Billy Graham and Jesse Ventura look like Kurt Angle. He's going to be the greatest heel of all time. Also, Wheeler Yuta is one of the most impressive talents in the world. He just needs to never be on the mic ever again. He needs to do the Steve Blackman thing where he comes out and he just handles business.
Just let William do the talking. Okay?
Yeah, he's not good on the mic. The fact that they thought that he could get in a verbal altercation last week with MJF, it was cringe. I hate that word. Cringe is cringe. It was. I'm not trying to talk shit on the man's personality. Like his voice doesn't carry intimidation. It kind of sounds like he's still sort of going through puberty, and when he tries to be scary, his voice goes up a little bit.
True.
But he can get the job done in the ring, and this is one of those matches, like his match with Bryan Danielson and his match with, I think he lost to like Mox at some point. All of those matches, he's fantastic. in the ring. He just can't be on the mic, especially against a fucking lion who will just eat him up and still get cheers like MJF.
To be fair, though, MJF slays everybody on the mic. Like, he slayed Punk.
Yeah. Which is why
Wheeler didn't stand a chance, but at least he had the balls to do it because he's
Punk
from
is
Philly.
one of the best mic men in the world, and they thought that Wheeler was going to get over talking some shit against MJF. What was cool though was when he showed up at the suite behind him, didn't say anything, was just standing there. That's who Wheeler Yuta needs to be. He needs to be like the good guy Sicario for the Blackpool Country Club. He just needs to go out there and just do what they say.
The old cuckold club.
Yeah, he needs to do what they say without saying anything. That's just how I think that character needs to be. That's how he was until last week. He barely talked. I never even heard his voice until last week, and I feel the way I feel. So that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I heard his voice before, but you're not wrong.
All I can say is on this one, though, is mind you that MJF won legit, clean, no interference, and no weapons. Yeah. Keep an eye on that. That's what I'm saying. That he's in that middle line, that thin line between the love and hate, the love as a heel, the hate as a baby face. It's coming down pretty soon. I think it might turn out. I agree with what Dan said about we may see the firm turning on him after he wins the belt, and then I think that could happen, and that would help elevate MJF, which as a baby face, I'm saying, not as a heel, but as a face. So I mean, that you never know. You never know. All right, I want to move on now to, of course, Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal. And of course, we did see that as
Chris's
well.
Favorite match.
According to
I like it. Wasn't bad.
Versus wait, yep. So we'll let the director go on this one. But yes,
I don't really have much to say. It wasn't a bad match. Jay Lethal is still in a position where he can take a loss and still be relevant. This is like his second loss in a row. I think he's going to leave the Sanjay Dutt thing. Yeah. That's pretty clear. I don't see the motives behind this trio. They're not really doing anything or going after anything that's like, oh, cool. It's just three dudes, and one of them just happens to be TNA legend Jay Lethal. Woo! So, yeah, he's probably going to come to his senses. I don't know if he's going to revert to like his pseudo comedy gimmicks or anything like that, but I just think that he's just better as a good guy.
Okay. All right. DOM.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. The match itself was pretty good, and unlike MJF, you see this face turn coming a mile a fuck away. And I'm all for it because I'm kind of sick of that whole clique they have with like the huge. It's like evolution.
It's like AJ Styles and Omos type. It's literally just
almost, but they almost look like they either look like a cell phone signal or the evolution of man, because Sanjay is kind of short and then Jay is average and then Satnam is like way the fuck up here, so they kind of go like this. And it's just like
it's like Drake Maverick and AOP.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh my god!
Except AOP was two big dudes where you have like literally small guy, average guy, huge guy. Yeah, it's a little weird. Like the whole thing is just a little odd. I could see like Sanjay and Satnam rolling together, but then you put Jay Lethal in there, and it just goes back to that old childhood game. One of these things just doesn't belong here.
One of these things is not like the other,
right? Like. And so, if Jay were to go face, I'm not saying he has to go back to being Black Machismo or even do his Ric Flair impressions, but if he just went back to,
I love that he still comes out to like the Macho remix. That's pretty. Bomb.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't mind if he did a Black Machismo here or there, but if he went back to just being like the face Jay Lethal that won the ROH title, I'd be okay with that. I'd be more than okay with that. Maybe I'd actually see Jay Lethal win on TV and not YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, because he's like, at least he's 0-2 in his last two. I don't know his dark.
Oh, I know, but they put it. They stick the records up there when somebody comes out, and I'm like, where did he win? It must have been YouTube, because every time he's on TV, he's taking an L. The last guy he beat was Takeshita on TV. That was summer.
Jesus.
It was a Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won 2 weeks ago.
Well, what do you on Rampage though?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but not on Dynamite. Dan, take it away.
I like the match. It was great. I think what they're going to do, of course, just like you said, you saw a mile away, they're going to turn Jay Lethal face. You got this whole Chris Jericho one to face all the former Ring of Honor World Champions, go through the gauntlet, and at some point it's going to be him and Jay Lethal, and they will have a great match. Maybe they save it down the line. Maybe that's like a match that you can do at a Full Gear, because I know they want to kind of save that Daniel Garcia one for like a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I feel like you want to work your way up to that because you want to build Daniel Garcia into a big babyface champion like that. So I like the match. Darby Allin, he's one of the pillars, of course. He always has a great match. I kind of am happy that it was just him. You didn't see Sting. You didn't see anybody else. It was just Darby. When Darby's by himself, I feel like he does a great job. I feel like everything else kind of takes away from him. Even though Sting was great for him, I think him coming out with him every week kind of took away from Darby's character a little bit and got the focus on Sting. So now you get to put the focus back on Darby, and he gets the win, builds it up a little bit. I don't know where they go with him. Like, it's always a question with him. Like, he could be just fighting somebody and not go for the belt, and it for some reason works out for him. But Jay, at the end of the day, is going to become a babyface again.
Okay, love that. Matt Callis.
All right, you guys, this is where I'm going to use reverse psychology. Or in The Simpsons, like, how do I do that? Okay, don't use reverse psychology. So that means I'm going to use reverse psychology. So imagine you're Jay Lethal and you've kind of been, maybe you're in his shoes and you've been the champion a bunch of times. And I have to think about like the responsibilities that come with being a champion. Like Jay Lethal was kind of like, he was in the YouTube videos for Ring of Honor. Let me tell you something about Ring of Honor. I'm the champion, and you gotta represent the brand, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do that. And I'm wondering if it's like it's not quite retirement, but it's kind of like the Tanahashi phase. And I'm thinking he's somewhat in there, and rather than that, maybe elevating other titles or elevating other talent. You know, is more not letting other talent constantly get over you, but I mean, that's kind of how it's looking right now. So maybe he might be more interested in elevating other titles or other divisions or a specific type of wrestling. So in particular, or just the dream matches in particular, because, you know, you don't have to have a belt to give them the dream matches. You know, that's only when you're kind of, you know, I guess when you're not as established name, because I mean, with Jay Lethal, the word dream match and Jay Lethal could come together anytime, you know, more or less. So, I mean, this is I'm pretty sure you could plug in two people here as an analogy for Jay Lethal and an analogy for Darby Allin to kind of where they are in situation, you know. So it's like, would you want to be in the world title picture? Would you want to be winning all the time? Or is that too much of a Hulk Hogan thing? You know, like, would you want to, like, it's like, imagine you're in his shoes. So, and do you want to elevate Darby? You know, it's a lot of different things.
Darby could take like 9 losses in a row, and I think he would still be over.
Yeah, everybody loves him.
Pretty much.
He's very relatable to the youth. He's a very
I mean, he's definitely doing. Obviously, his character is pretty cut and dry. That it's Jeff Hardy on Jackass. That's it. That's all. I mean, that's literally what it is. But
straight up party.
Yeah.
Straight
and he
up.
loves turtles.
I love turtles.
That's the joke Sammy Guevara made about him.
The director, they got a question for you there. If you want to answer that.
How do I feel about the Devil Whisperer character? You think it's integral and different, and also you guys can answer. I think it's funny, as a self-proclaimed Jew boy as MJF is, calling himself the devil is pretty. I mean, I don't think it's going to catch on like everything Jericho does. But I mean, he's trying something for sure. I don't have any. I'm not offended by it. I don't have any problem with it. At the same time, he's trying to be the devil and worship me, and then also teasing being a face. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
All right, I could respond. Him as the devil. I like his use of "Sympathy for the Devil" by Rolling Stones. I think if he kept using that, I think he could have really like. I like it when wrestlers use either popular classical songs or popular classic rock songs as their entrance themes. When like Hulk Hogan used "Voodoo Child" by Jimi Hendrix, or has there been? I don't know if this was like a glitch download I downloaded from Kazaa, but I was like Outsider's original theme, and then I ended up getting an old Beatles song.
That was a glitch.
Yeah, I was imagining Scott Hall and Kevin Nash coming. If I fell in love with you, would you promise to be true? Help me.
Wouldn't it be perfect for like the Wolfpack to come out to Strawberry Fields?
Oh man, that'd be sick.
I'm just saying.
So if they did all the oldies, dang. Like, I kind of wish MJF just kept up with that because, I mean, his theme, but you can't sing along with it. That's the main thing. Because wrestlers who have themes you sing along with, dang, everybody gets hyped. Everybody get like.
Clearly, Matt's never watched our show. There are lyrics to that song, by the way.
MJF song?
You just haven't heard them.
Ooh, yeah, you got me. I am MJF.
All right.
You've never heard me introduce High Class on the show? I swear.
Now you give me multiple reasons.
Wait a minute. I'll try to low tech bring it up. Hang on. Where is it? Here it is. Here you go. From now on, when MJF's music plays, hear this.
That's funny.
That's all it is.
That can get on the radio and get to like number 5 on the Billboard charts in a week.
I swear to God, the full song is on Spotify. They start rapping and everything.
They need to,
just look up MJF. It'll come up. I promise.
AEW make this shit official. Pay them. It's
so much better than the actual elevator music he comes out to, or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, like when
I like that music pops, dude. That music pops the crowd.
I even like Stone Cold song with the lyrics and Batista song.
Oh, is that from the fucking Attitude
thank you, Jeff.
record?
Disturbed? Like Stone Cold had the Disturbed theme.
Yeah.
Batista had, I forgot who it was who did.
Stone Cold's like Disturbed theme was the shit.
Yeah, once you add lyrics, there's something that kind of.
And then Batista got one from like Saliva or something for a while.
Imagine a wrestler using Rolling Stone Satisfaction.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Saliva. Never mind.
Yeah, it was Saliva.
Yeah.
I walk alone.
Dan, your take on the MJF level.
We totally derailed. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm sorry.
All right, so TNT Championship, Wardlow, Brian Cage. I'm gonna let the director because he's gonna have to go to work pretty soon. So I'm gonna let the director take the floor on the last 3 takes. But go ahead, director, give me this one, and I'll give you the rest of them right now.
Good to see Brian Cage back, even though I'm not like into the character. Like, I get it. He's just like the jacked dude. And you can say that about Wardlow, but Wardlow comes off as more genuine of that character, I guess. But that's just the way the characters are designed. Wardlow hitting Whisper in the motherfucking wind. What the hell? What? Can't believe he hit that. I love that. Please, I mean, obviously he doesn't have.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
He obviously doesn't have the competition to hit that against other people. You know, there's no one bigger than him. Who bigger than Wardlow in AEW right now besides Keith Lee, who's also hitting that move. So it's good to see him kind
Better
of
than Jeff.
be up
Yeah.
against his equal.
Lately, yeah.
Yeah, good match. I liked it. This is probably one of the best heavyweight matches in the history of AEW, as far as like the big boys go, because there's not many big boys, and it's a shame one of them had to lose. It's real weird to see Brian Cage lose because he just doesn't. But obviously Wardlow is the TNT champion. He's the face of the big guys division, and it had to happen. I see them wrestling a lot. I see them kind of going like, if they wrestle 10 times, it's going 50-50, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I was entertained by the match, and the pop for when we knew that Wardlow was hitting Powerbomb Symphony, that was great. To see Brian Cage get manhandled like he's never been before, it's kind of cool to see him take that L. That's my thoughts.
Okay. All right. I'm going to bring it out to you. The 6-woman tag team matchup.
Oh, hey! We get all the women in one match again.
Right?
Cool.
Let's just
Saraya
stuff them
taking
all in the
shots?
ring together.
I don't know if those shots are needed to be cleared by a doctor, but Saraya taking shots, that's cool. Wasn't a bad match. I think that Penelope Ford should have gotten the pin off of that fucking monkey flip into a cutter conversion when they were doing finisher spot fests. That should have been her pin. There's no reason it shouldn't have been. I don't care that the faces won this. Penelope Ford should have gotten that pin. It was 6 sequence. Loved it. Match wasn't bad. I'm just complaining that there you go. You're constantly getting the entire division in one match again.
Preach it. You're preaching it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sit there.
That was fun. I love it. Billy Gunn still relevant. It was maybe a little long in the tooth for a segment, but is what it is. It was the only talky segment of the entire night. I think. Yeah, I would say that's the only talking segment of the whole night.
Okay.
So it was fun. It was a little long. This is all right. Roosh taking the L was cool. Hangman is probably going to beat Moxley, and then MJF catches in. I don't know how that's going to handle itself, but I mean, Hangman.
If that happens, I would be right.
Yeah, I don't know. Moving on.
Lightning round.
Skip.
This segment.
Skip.
I don't care about.
Thank you. Next. Hey, check this out. So we get to shoot Twitter beef between Andrade and Sammy Guevara, starting when Sammy Guevara went up to Andrade. I don't know if you guys covered this in the news, but
I digress.
Sammy was like, "Hey, you're working a little stiff. Just tranquilo," and that's fair. That's totally cool. Andrade's response is, "We hit each other hard. Sheamus likes to hit hard. I like to hit hard. Fucking deal with it. I'll hit you hard right now." Goes to punch Sammy. Allegedly may or may not have hit. There's no reports of that. They both get punished, yet Sammy gets the pin in the main event. So this can very well still be a work shoot.
Okay.
Why would you punish? I mean, Andrade was even on the show in a smaller capacity, and then Sammy obviously blessed that fucking glorious tweet out, which I loved. That tweet was fire because it was just tell me when I'm telling lies of a tweet. And they get
where's the lie?
They get punished allegedly, but then Sammy, like I said, gets the pin in the main event. I still don't think Daniel Garcia is in the Combat Club yet. I still think there could be some diversions going on. He could still turn on Daniel Bryanson or whatever. I don't know. That's my thought. It was a good match. Great fucking match. Always. Any combination of these four, you're going to have a good match. You're going to have a main event status match for sure.
Awesome. Love it. Love it.
So Wardlow versus Brian Cage. I thought it was a good heavyweight match. It was weird to see Brian Cage lose. Will o' the Wisp. I mean, we were getting that. What the heck? I'm just kidding.
I was trying not to come in and be like, dude, you did this already.
Yeah, no, he knows. He knows.
I know, because I watched the shows. I was like, never mind, he's trying to hook me.
So nice, he did it twice.
I'm not taking the bait. Fuck that. I don't care if it's shiny.
I could have done the whole thing. All right. Yeah, I got a little. I think fast. I talk fast, Randy. I'm a local yokel. I'm like David
And
Spade.
that was the lightning round.
Because I had to fit it in 5 minutes, and I had coffee. You're not a real gamer. Oh, I just spilled coffee all over myself. You're not a real gamer if you don't have a David Buster's coffee cup. I thought it was empty. All right,
Caffeine
I'm gonna go wash
abuse.
off this.
You're
this
suspended.
coffee from yeah, right.
So hey, tomorrow top 5.
I got a coffee cock. It's pretty gross.
Oh.
What a way to go out.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, round robin. Dom started off, Dan, and then Matt Callis last. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Take it away, Dom.
I mean, this match was, like Chris said, it was kind of fucking incredible. It was two huge dudes just slapping meat and flying around. You had to love like the attempted 619s, the Hurricane Ranas, all the shit from like two dudes who are that. Like, look on your screen, just big cut motherfuckers pulling luchador shit. Like, it's amazing. The whole match was pretty much 50-50 until the very end where Brian Cage takes a powerbomb symphony, and I'm sitting there like, wow. I do kind of get tired of people doing the Goldberg chant for Wardlow, but whatever, it's their thing. It beats Riddle any day. All right, fuck it, that's me. So who's next, Mr. Callis? You want to fill us in on your thoughts?
Dan.
Okay.
No, I really like the match. Like, this was very believable that you can have Wardlow have a longer match like he did. Like, usually it's like a 3-4 minute match. They had a good at least 10 to 15 minutes, I felt like, because Brian Cage is of the same build and look as him, so it's more believable that he would take him into deeper waters, make him work, and make him go a longer match where he can get more out of Wardlow. Just like you said, the Wardlow, he did stuff that you just never thought you would see him do because of the guy that he's fighting. I wanted to see Brian Cage come back out. I feel like he's going to be the guy that works people right now. He's kind of become like a jobber at the moment because he's with Ring of Honor. But he got so much out of Wardlow. It would make Wardlow even more likable, like as a wrestler. He showcased a lot of stuff that you didn't think Wardlow could do. And I'm happy with what they did. And just the end, like you said, the end where he did the powerbomb symphony, I'm like, shit. Brian Cage is taking all these power bombs. Like,
shout out to Brian Cage, man.
And that's credit to him for putting Wardlow over and to make Wardlow look like a motherfucking beast. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the aftermath where we end up with Gates of Agony taking on FTR at Battle of the Belts, and I think somebody said in the comments earlier, like Joe versus Brian Cage would be fire. Like, yes. Like, there it is. Next pay-per-view. Yes. Book this now.
Absolutely. Love it. Matt Callis, take it away.
So, two of the biggest things, definitely, I always do comparisons apples to apples. If you guys, it's not the first time these two have faced each other. Not first time one-on-one, I think. But the Warrior Wrestling, it's free on YouTube. It's Austin Aries, Brian Cage, and Wardlow in a cage. Great. Pretty cool match. Definitely watch it. I think, no diss to Warrior Wrestling. I love the promotion, but I think you guys need better lighting. That's the whole that hurts my like the Will Ospreay Brian Cage match. Like, I wish it was brighter lit so I can enjoy it a little bit more. All you guys need is just some more lights. That's all I gotta say.
Luckily, night vision cameras, one or the other.
Yeah. Luckily, when I went, it was during the day.
There you go. There you go. Was it outdoor, Dan?
IQ.
No. See, the one we went to was right before Forbidden Door, so it was like Warrior Wrestling and then that. So they had it inside the gym of a community college, right?
Yeah, very bright.
From the United Center.
So that should be pretty bright. Now, this is the complete opposite of Goldberg Brock Lesnar. This is You take two guys
Absolutely.
of similar size. You could put Wardlow in Goldberg's place and Brian Cage in Lesnar's place. You know, the two kind of big, almost even. Like Brian Cage is just very slightly bigger than Wardlow with muscle-wise and definition. But he's the baby face in the situation, kind of like Goldberg was the baby face in that Lesnar-Goldberg match. But this is how much wrestling's evolved. So both the evolution, the training, the education, you know, this is that match done correctly. I would be more than happy to see this again. 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I want 40.
I like that. I really like that.
I do too. You know what it really reminded me of was Brian Cage against another big dude, Alex Hammerstone.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
They're both huge. They both no sold at times. They both did, you know, crazy. I don't care if you want to call it flippy shit, but that's what you know, Hurricane Ranas and head scissors and all this shit. And it was an absolute war to the very end. And I'd love to see that again, just like this.
And the main thing, Dom, I gotta say that it's a product of the times, because wrestlers nowadays, I could even do an apples to apples with music. Wrestlers nowadays, like musicians, are more open-minded to learning a lot of different things. Now, in the old days, wrestlers just like I'm dissing Kevin Nash here, but they only wanted to do a limited amount of things and not get hurt. And it's like, I could make money doing less. I could make money doing less. And it's like a mentality of not not caring about the fans and wanting to take home more money, or just, I don't want to injure myself, or like it's a myriad of reasons, but just doing less for more money. You know, nowadays everybody's like, I want to learn it all, you know, and I love that. I love that you care about entertaining, you care about it being versatile, knowing a lot of different styles. So, you know, I mean, if Wardlow and Brian Cage were guitarists, they would be guitar players that could play multiple styles of music, you know, jamming together.
Alex Hammerstone is a guitar player.
Yep.
and the thing about Brian Cage, Alex Hammerstone, like if you go back to Cage's beginnings in like PWG, he was not that on the screen. He looked like me. Okay, he was a skinny dude, and he bulked up. So when he trained, he learned a lot of different things, and then he got big, and he kept that. And Alex Hammerstone's another one of those guys. I'm not sure about Wardlow. You'd have to ask Grandma. She knows this whole backstory. I didn't know shit till he got to AEW. That's just a fact. But when it comes to those two, they came and trained as smaller competitors, and then they bulked up. But they kept that skill set as a bigger wrestler, and it kind of changed the game.
I think for next week with Joe versus Brian Cage, I hope they give that. If it's not next week, I definitely want it for the pay-per-view. I want it to have more time, if not be the main event. I want that. Let it breathe. Let it savor the flavor. Don't eat the whole thing in 3 bites. You have to enjoy it. Don't gulp the wine down. Enjoy flavor.
Absolutely.
So, savor this match. Like I was upset at the commercial breaks, but I know I could find it on a different platform somewhere.
The Canadian version, the Canada version, TSN, where there's like no break. You can still, yep.
So goddamn picture-in-picture.
Yeah, watch this without picture-in-picture, everybody. Watch this without picture-in-picture.
Yes. And you know what? Yeah. In this match, I honestly like the fact that Wardlow finally sold. I compare this one to him versus Lance Archer. Like him and Lance Archer was very, very quick pace. I disliked that very, very much. I wish it could have been more longer for Archer, especially seeing Archer in the G1. Fantastic overall. And and I mean, I'm happy that Cage got his TV time finally. I'm like, where the hell you been? You always come over here. I know you'd be in VXX or you'd be, in other promotions.
CCW, every promotion you can think of. But
I mean, but I'm glad he's back on TV. This match, at least Cage is doing the favor of putting this man over, and I enjoyed that he did that for Wardlow, putting him over. What I do like is that Wardlow actually finally sold. He sold in this match, and been dying to see Wardlow to sell. Like, fine, you're hurting. Finally, you look like you're really struggling, and that's what I enjoy. And now, if he's going to have these open matches, I know, look, one thing I want to digress very brief on this one is people are disliking the fact, and so was I, that there's not an open challenge. I think even Dan as well, everybody here, agrees that we need to see more of an open challenge for Wardlow. And I like the fact that we see it on social media, even though we don't see it on television. However, though, what do we do most of the time of our lives? We're on our phones. We're here. Yeah. Oh, you're reading the feud. It's happening. Open challenge. Boom. And that's how it happens.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why to do it that way. I don't, not that I'm saying I don't like it. I'm more like, okay, that's cool. But can we still see a little bit on TV as well? Balance it out between the two. And
I like the fact that he took bumps from Brian Cage, and he sold. But the big thing with me with this is it's believable because Brian Cage is of the same size as him. Yes. I feel like that's why he made it look important there because of the guy he was facing.
Absolutely,
agreed. Man,
and because Brian Cage is a fucking machine.
Exactly. He is a fucking machine. I tell you that, man. He's a machine. There you go. But now we can get into the 6 women's tag team match. Jamie Hayter, Serena Deeb, Penelope Ford versus Toni Storm, Athena, and Willow Nightingale. Of course, Soraya on the faces side, and Dr. DMD, of course, Britt Baker on the heel side. She did a cameo earlier saying, oh, yeah, Soraya can't wrestle. She's not clear to wrestle. Then we get this, matchup back and forth. I'll go very quick. I wanted to say that I like Penelope Ford when she did that Trish move, and she caught herself right away to do that RKO on Willow. And if you notice, she was going to fuck it up. And good timing. That was good timing that it didn't fuck up. I was like, oh, my God. I was really happy that Willow...
I was waiting for it too. Because she did it. I'm like, is she going to do anything else? And then she just stayed down and then did the RKO that way. Like she didn't go up and do it. She just stayed down and did it. Okay.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful. You get this from me. Good job. Like
you almost had me like you fuck. Never mind.
And man, I really enjoyed, especially. See Serena Deeb getting her pop too, besides Jamie Hayter. Man, I think everybody are listening to our shows individually. We put over Serena Deeb because she really puts everybody over in that ring. Her match with Toni Storm, fantastic. I enjoyed it. It did not bore me whatsoever. I was really invested. Jamie Hayter's another one we've been dying to see her. She needs to be the next one to be crowned.
Yeah,
crowd favorite. We need to have her win the belt, So, and then finally get to see Athena now, gelling in with the chemistry. In the beginning, we did not see so much of it, and now we're seeing a lot of it. And I'm glad we see now Penelope more often. I do want to see, of course, the bunny. Where the hell is she? We see her only on dark television. Bring her on Dynamite as well. Willow Nightingale, okay. But I agree with Chris what he said before he left. Again, put them all in one match. Devin, of course, from Clark Street mentioned earlier too on the chat. What the hell? I know. I'm with you. But I enjoyed this.
But how many segments on Dynamite did the women have? 4 segments.
Yeah.
4. It wasn't like they just had a 3-on-3. That's it. No more. They had a match here, and they had 3 segments in the back.
Yeah.
They gave them a lot of time on TV. Between this match, of course, you had Dr. DMD in the beginning doing her thing right there. Then they had Willow who got the pin. Who was it that said that they would like to see more Willow look good? And here she goes and she gets the pin and for her team.
And then calls Jade out.
Goes into the back. Another segment where she calls Jade out. And Jade looked very confused, so Jade's going to win that. But it was good to see Willow get the victory. And I'm telling you, and I'm still feeling like the seeds are being built for Hayter and Toni Storm. I feel like they're going to plant the seeds for that matchup. And I told you when the other day I was watching in our, of course, New Japan chat. I'm like, I'm liking Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian as a mixed tag team. I want to see them take those titles off of Sammy and Ty. And they kind of planted the seed of it on Dark, where they're like, oh, I could see them being a challenger for Sammy and Ty for the mixed tag.
Yeah,
See, I'm with that though.
But
I hear what you're saying, man. But I'm with that.
You can't be too greedy though. You can't be like, oh, I need to see more than a segment. They give you 3 segments. Oh well, it was only 1 match. Yada yada. You can't be too picky with things like that. You gotta.
Instead of giving you multiple matches with multiple women, they keep sticking multiple women in one fucking match every week. It's like, okay, forget the singles matches. We'll have tag matches. We'll have trios. We'll have 8-man. Next week it'll be 6 on 6 for in a 5-minute match. It's like, okay, maybe take one of the segments and make it a women's match.
No one's ever gonna be happy. No one's ever gonna be happy. I feel like
I will be happy when you see women's wrestling in each hour of Dynamite.
Well, there's only 2 hours of Dynamite.
Exactly. So 1 match in the first hour, 1 match in the second hour.
And the match doesn't have to be an hour long.
It doesn't.
No.
You could have. I don't care if Jade comes out and squashes somebody in the first match. At least
but then somebody
it's 2
would be
fucking matches.
complaining that they only get 5 minutes of wrestling. So, there's always going to be something that hates.
I wouldn't, because when people argued it the other way, they're like, "Oh, well, look at WWE; they have multiple women's matches and blah blah blah." And Bruce was the one saying, "Yeah, but they're like 5 minutes long." I'm like, "Yeah, but there's still multiple fucking matches."
But it's on a 3-hour show. That's 3 hours. They have an extra.
But they
hour
get
to do
3
that.
or 4 matches, whereas these women get 1 in 2 hours.
All right,
they get 2 where they fit into 3 hours, which equals to 1 match in 2 hours. Like you do the math.
Actually,
and
do one every hour and a half.
So. It'll be a different story once that Ring of Honor show comes around. I guess they'll have another hour to work with in addition to Rampage.
Yeah.
Now, the 3
Grab some more dudes. Yeah. Sausage Party continues on another channel.
But then they took a segment and they promoted a women's match for Rampage on top.
4. So 4 segments in 1 match.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. How many matches were on there?
But
4
somehow
matches?
3 segments in 2 matches makes no sense.
It comes down to this. So it comes down to this, guys. So kind of 3 things. I guess kind of things kind of projected on the future is that we think of like the in Japan, the marketing and packaging of how they market and promote their women is kind of why they're so popular. Something with like the merchandising and everything like that, like how they market them, somewhat similar to J-pop idols and whatnot, because they had B. Priestley and Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm on like photo books and all these other things and all these different products like Chibi Girls and all the little cartoons of them and whatnot. So that's one thing to promote the women's division. But another thing that's going to be telling in the time being is this is an eventuality. Once Freddie Prinze Jr. launches his promotion, because he was saying it's really going to be 50-50 with him. Yeah. It's going to be 50% women, 50% men with his promotion. And that might kind of up the ante with what's going on here. Maybe we might see some of the women from here heading over to Freddie, and seeing if they get more work and more screen time with him, so that could be another factor. And as a result, that might light the fire under AEW's ass to get a little bit, maybe another match or 2 on the show, one or so. I just
think it's going to be hard whenever, like, you only have 4 or 5 matches and you make 1 there, but then they go on a 1-hour Rampage and they make sure that there's a women's match on there as well.
Exactly.
And then they had 4 segments. So it's like in 3 hours, like if you combine Rampage and Dynamite, you had 4 segments, 2 matches, and I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a segment to go with the match on Friday. So it's like they're trying to
maybe one
cultivate
tag,
something.
Maybe 1 tag and 1 single on Dynamite.
Right.
I would like that. See, I'm gonna be okay with that. A tag match and a singles. I'm not okay with that.
That seems like a good portion. That's like a side dish.
It feels weird that you have two women's champions in AEW and one match on each show. I understand Rampage because it's an hour long, but
I feel like that's Jade's fault.
You got a 6-woman match here. Are we getting women's trios titles? There are 2 championships. There are 6 people here. None of them deserve a shot at the TBS championship. I haven't seen the rankings. Are they in it? Are there women's trios titles? So what the fuck was the point other than like these bitches don't like each other?
Yeah.
There's like 3 storylines wrapped up into this match.
Like they ended up wrapping it in a bow and having Willow come out the victor and then challenging Jade, which was kind of cool.
I feel like you got Hayter and Tony Storm.
But
you have the whole Britt Baker and Saraya. That's a thing there.
Well, yeah. But you could have even had like this turn into a tag match and then say like, I don't know, Willow versus pick somebody from the other 3 and they're going to be the number 1 contender for the TBS title.
They wanted to make it important to make it mean something when she won. So she in tear beat 3 other women. Was she pinned 4, but on her team was Hayter, Deeb, and Ford. So it made it more important. The fact
I think her winning a singles match and becoming a number 1 contender would make it feel important.
Not really. Not against
really?
Who? Against who? You just
against Jade, which she stepped to anyway. That's what I'm saying. Instead of having 6 people in a match, take Willow and take I don't care Penelope, and winner faces Jade Cargill, and and Willow gets the win, challenges Jade like she did. It still feels important. You get a tag match after that with the remaining women. You have your 2 matches. You still get Saraya or however you say her name. The artist formerly known as Paige throwing down with Britt Baker after the tag match.
Okay.
You get all that.
So say you wanted to do that. What match do you bump off of Dynamite?
I would the
honestly
get
Luchasaurus,
but that match,
Luchasaurus and the Jungle Boy promo takes care of everything.
Takes care of everything. I would have got rid of
that on YouTube. But that was like 3 minutes, so you're only gonna give them 3 minutes.
His promo alone was 3 minutes.
This match was like 10 minutes long. This match.
Yeah, maybe you shorten Scissor Day just a little bit. Maybe you just let them have Scissor Day. You don't have Swerve come out and fucking ruin it. You know, that's what I'm saying. You can cut here, cut there, cut the other, and now you have enough time.
I just feel like this is pointless nitpicking when they're trying. We say they need to do more.
They've been trying for 3 years. When are they gonna get it right?
You gotta get into the debate.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You gotta get a debate on this one with Devin, though.
It's already a debate. It's always gonna be.
Devin, am I wrong though?
At the end of the day, we can digress about so much about it. It's not gonna get done until we have to wait patiently, and that's the unfortunate.
I don't think there's enough time to do it. Put that way. That's
there's enough time. There could be enough time. Trust me, there is.
Man, I ain't never waited 3 years for anything, bro.
Knowing how to time manage everything. When there is a will, there's a way, and I think there is.
Like I said, I hate the argument. Oh well, Raw does it. Raw has 3 hours, so they got plenty of time.
Bow to my will and give me my way. That's how it works.
Is the will. His middle name's William now. Freddie William Jr.
Freddie William Jr.
Until they do like a 2-hour like rampage,
which they should.
I think it's not gonna. Which they should.
Well, they technically do. They technically will, but it'll be rampage and then Battle of the Belts. On Friday.
By the way, that's going to be on Friday, so that's going to be a second match, a women's match on Friday. So that's going to be a 1-on-1 match. So 1 match here, 2 matches on Friday.
You mean on 2 hours of programming, they're going to have 2 women's matches? Amazing!
Yeah,
it's like it can somehow be done. Now they just need to put it on the same fucking show.
That's what they need to
and
do.
Not at 11 o'clock at night. That would be cool. I know I'm asking for a lot.
Well, when Jade can actually wrestle, maybe we'll get it.
Oh my god! I love it. I fucking love it. This is why it's a fucking debate. This is why it's a debate.
I love it.
By the way, she has wrestled enough to be undefeated.
With 5 botches a night.
I fell asleep. I fell asleep in the baddie section.
Oh.
Be an ECW fan. Chant you fucked up and move on.
All right. Well, fuck it, let's move on, man. I think we all kind of give our piece for this women's match. We don't want to cut down. Speaking of cutting, here you go, cutting the scissors right here. Scissor me, daddy, scissor me.
I was gonna say what we all need after that harsh debate is a bi-coastal, multiracial scissor fest.
This is for you, Dom.
There you go.
Bring it in.
Devin,
Scissor me, Danny.
scissor me, daddy.
Scissor me,
Not
tribal ass.
Not sushi me,
Tribal
daddy. It's scissor me, not sushi me.
Chopstick me, Matty ass.
I was gonna. I bought like a pair of scissors that had like a knife on one end, and it's like it's pretty cool, but it's downstairs, and I can't run that fast right now.
Oh, so we see Swerve and Daddy Ass and next week in Canada. So where are we going from here? I mean, this should end at Full Gear, this feud, and have the Acclaim challenge other competitors. I mean, Dan,
I think.
do you agree?
Yes, I'm just gonna be quick with this. This is gonna be the point where they have the last match, the third one. The Acclaim win. Swerve turns on Lee because maybe Lee gets the loss. Lee stays a babyface, and then Swerve it turns full heel like he is. And I do like the fact that you had Smart Mark come out and continue that whole thing about, come on now, I got this against Swerve. He shouldn't be on programming. Help me out. And then, of course, they knocked him out.
Fucking Mark.
Deal him.
I'm with that. Like, rubber match at Full Gear, Acclaim take it, and you can kind of feel Swerve in their glory going like this, because I don't really think Keith Lee likes being a heel. I really don't. He doesn't even look like he's interested in being a heel in these matches. He's just like on the apron, like, I'm here. Oh, I got to get in the ring. Okay. All right, you go do the heel bullshit. I'm out. Like, I don't see that lasting much longer. The Acclaimed, we love them so much, we did an entire show on them. They have definitely arrived. They have definitely gotten to levels where people love them for doing the dumbest shit like this segment, including me. And so for them to get the win, move on, possibly have a showdown with FTR down the line, like they kind of teased, would be amazing. And then we get the Keith Lee Swerve split feud. That would kind of be cool too.
I think that's why we got this third one. They're buying their time, because with what FTR is going to be doing the next couple of months, they're buying their time.
Exactly. They're working. They're letting FTR get their business out of the way. They're letting this breathe a little bit, giving Keith a little time to kind of chill, because those matches were long and he's a big dude. And then you get the rubber match, you get the split, you get two stories that come out of it that you're actually interested in. So I think it's the best way to go with the whole situation.
Definitely, I agree with that. I like it. I like both of you guys' first perspective on that. Matt Callis.
I think one of the things to take away from this is I think there was like we could see your shirt get banned in this century too.
That was fucking awesome.
I was thinking of all the suck it shirts. I really thought he was gonna say let's get ready to suck it, but I don't know if that's like, I hope they didn't. I hope
It's trademarked by WWE.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that, especially with Papa H at the helm. He'd be like, first Billy's not showing up for the DX reunion. Now this.
Let's get ready to scissor it.
Let's get ready to scissor.
Love that.
But you need the Road Dog for that, and he ain't coming back.
Kind of like one of the best things, Anthony Bowens is a proud gay man, just saying like, I know all about scissoring, just like straight up on the
I
mic.
laugh my ass off at that.
I know a thing or two.
I
about
know all of. I'm a master of scissoring. I'm like, sure.
Wasn't here? Did they make it sound like the Declaration of Independence, like how they were doing it? Like it's just like
The whole thing was so political. Just the
I wanted to stand up and go like this. I was like,
I think
with the scissors right here. With the scissors. Right there.
Oh, they also made it like church because like turn to your side in this part in the service.
and scissor your
Scissor be
scissor
with
your
you.
neighbor.
Scissor be with you. And then we're going to imagine if they passed out a collection basket where they passed out scissors.
Oh my god!
You got scissor cookies that they
And
pass
then
out.
the whole thing with Bo is in the commentary, like he's running with scissors. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh no way! The comment. Oh, what was it? Was the Shivani when he was like telling Taz, scissor me,
Man, scissor me, and Taz's like,
Taz,
no.
Oh my god!
I like that the audience though. The audience participation is probably what made it the most funny because it's like a good.
yeah.
I think it's like a good 80% of everybody either had a sign or a scissor in their hands.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah.
the little kids had a little. Everybody had one. And my like whenever I make a dirty joke, my girlfriend gets mad at me, and the whole time she was like, she was giving me a slap on the back, was like, stop laughing.
I really enjoyed it, man. I even with the main event when I think Tony Schiavone asked Ian Rick Bonnie, Ian, did you get scissors today? We're like, oh no, we're waiting for my anniversary for my wife. I'm just like, oh my god,
Fucking Riccaboni, man.
Yeah,
That is a legend.
And speaking of, this is so big and people are so into it that WWE is bracing with the DX reunion on Monday for the crowd to be chanting "Daddy Ass."
you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna happen.
You know it's
They
gonna
are-
happen.
They already said that they're expecting.
We
it
won't
to
hear
happen.
shit, but you know it's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
I am looking forward for that. I am looking.
Me
forward.
too. Me
I
too.
cannot wait, man. I can't wait. Man, let's jump on this match, man. Jim. Hangman Adam Page versus Rush. Man, the AFO. I mean, AFO. Now it's RF until further notice. We'll find out what's going to happen with that debacle. But I digress very brief on this one myself. I enjoyed it. To be honest, it's hard for me to see Rush losing because I'm so used to seeing Rush as a top contender. I'm always used to seeing him in Ring of Honor, see him as a top dog. It's hard for me to see him to fucking lose a match like this. But I was impressed. I was impressed with the chemistry these two guys have. And I think great, even though with the interference, great Hamish old school tactic moves. But I did enjoy Hangman actually getting that win. Then Moxley coming out. It's been 3 years. It's been 3 fucking years we haven't faced each other, which is true. They never faced each other one-on-one. So I'm and now it's getting me more invested. See, this is how you can build. See, this is why, God, I keep saying it. You have to allow these former WWE guys like Moxley, Regal, Danielson, Jericho, help these individuals, your AEW stars, to learn how to do stories like this one, like Moxley, like how Jericho's doing with the Ocho. It's working. It's fucking working. Why can they learn from that and don't be selfish and say, oh, no, I don't need to learn from it. No. You need to fucking learn. You need to pay attention to these type of segments, to these promos, because it will put you over. Moxley doesn't need a script. That's why he's the unscripted for that fucking reason. And Moxley, I'm invested in wait. I can't wait till fucking Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm waiting for that match already. I'm really looking forward for that already. Go ahead, Dan.
I'm picturing the Be the Elite theme right now, and every time you see somebody on there, I'm picturing them putting the X in front of them because they're suspended or like not allowed to wrestle in the US. Like Marty Scurll, X, Kenny, X, the Young Bucks, X. It's like,
Can we animate the Acclaimed in so they can cut them out with scissors?
Yeah. And it's like, and then you got Hangman. It's like, how does this guy avoid all that? Like, this guy's like, he avoids the plague with ease. Like, you had the whole thing with CM Punk, and he was part of it. But here he goes. It was just so happens he was already gone from the arena before that happened. He avoids that. He avoids this. He avoids that.
Law of attraction. He just got in the car and went home. He's got a kid to take care of.
Yeah, and it's like he's had the best luck with that. It's like, go man, go. Like, and it's the perfect thing that he's never faced Moxley at the same time, because it's a fresh matchup that you can book. It sucks that it's going to be a Dynamite one, but then it's also kind of a treat that we get it on live TV. Yep. And it means something because, of course, we know what the MJF thing looming, that's the end game. So we get this nice matchup here where we're expecting Moxley to win, but I'm looking forward to just all-out war, all-out battle. And I want to see them get at least 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes because Hangman's been that guy. They even said it from the beginning. Watch out for Hangman because he expected all of us to be the big breakout stars, but it's Hangman. He's the guy that kind of was in the elite, kind of was in the background, and then once Dynamite started, he's been the guy ever since then. He's been the breakout fan favorite since then. Like, you got people that like him, got people that probably don't like him because of the way he dresses, but he's handled himself the right way. These guys had a great match. Like, if it wasn't for MJF and Yuta, this would have been my favorite match of the night because they just that bruising mentality that they had. I have a theory that maybe Roosh, that when Daniel Garcia takes the Ring of Honor title from Jericho, that Roosh is going to be the first challenger.
I like that. I fucking like that.
Can you imagine Garcia against Roosh for the RH World title?
I'll be cringing. I'll be cringing at the whole match because Garcia is so skinny and Roosh is so big. I'm like, I'll be cringing. Don't break his bone, for God's sake. Be careful. Like,
be nice to Danny.
Be nice to Danny.
Well, was it me or was it funny that like the assistant was doing the talking for Roosh and he's like to the private party, you better go out there and help, or I'm gonna send you to court because we saw you with Matt Hardy. He's trying to help you guys out. We're going to take you to court if you don't come out and do what you're supposed to do. And I thought that was a cool segment.
Love it. DOM, talk to me.
I mean, the match itself was very good. It was so hard hitting, and I'm with you. It's hard to watch Roosh lose. I mean, just ROH alone. Like, I've seen this man beat PCO. He's not even alive. How does he lose to a cowboy? I don't get it. But it was still a great match, and I love that no matter where we go with this, whether, from Cincinnati to whenever MJF decides to cash in, that both these guys, Hangman and Moxley, have a history with MJF. Because, MJF came up short against Moxley in his only title match, and then if you go back to the very first Double or Nothing, MJF thought he won that battle royal, and then here comes Hangman to toss him out from behind and get the title shot, where eventually leading to the match with Jericho.
And he beat Hangman for the first Dynamite ring.
Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, either way, it's kind of like MJF's revenge winning that title, and I love that. If it's Hangman, I'm going to love it even more because I called that from the beginning. Ivan was on the show with me. I was like, yes. Hangman is going to lose the title to MJF.
Yep.
I didn't know he was going to lose it before that. But if it turns out I'm still right. So let's go Hangman.
Well, I was just going to say, what's the chances that Hangman does actually beat Moxley? Because Moxley wanted to take that vacation. And they're going to be in Cincy. I know Cincy, you got to expect Moxley.
It's Cincy and Moxley, but at the same time, if he loses, he can just literally turn around and go home and not come back.
just like he said, when he's getting ready, he's going to walk down Vine Street, leave his house, and go right to the arena and
win. So he could just walk back and be like, all right, fuck it, honey, I'm home. I ain't going nowhere for 6 weeks.
So the question we should be asking is, why can't Hangman win and then have MJF cash in on Hangman?
I want to mind it, to be honest.
It is a definite possibility.
And then you could further that rivalry with Hangman between Hangman. The biggest
question I still have from all that, no matter who wins, is can MJF just turn around and like run out like it's Money in the Bank and say, "Here's my chip, I'm cashing in," or is it one of those things more like how about like the Gift of the Gods in the Lucha Underground, where you had to turn it in and then you got a match down the line, or is it just instant? Like, oh, he won, I'm taking this now.
What they interviewed MJF, he said it's kind of like the Money in the Bank, but like with the Money in the Bank, you can do it whenever, wherever. You don't have to tell anybody. You just show up, boom. You can do it like in the hallway if you wanted to, like boom. But with this one, it's like he has to tell Tony Khan when he wants to do it. But Tony Khan doesn't have to tell the champion. The champion doesn't have to know.
Okay.
So it could be, okay, he wrestled the match. Say Hangman wins. MJF could come down. He already told Tony Khan, say, I want, after they're done the match, I'm cashing in on my match. And it goes out, boom, and he can have the match then.
Could you imagine? Hangman would have the new record for shortest title reign. I don't even know if it's Mox or Punk at this point, but he'd beat him.
That's true. Oh man, that's exciting.
You were champ for all of 3 minutes. Congratulations. Josh Alexander is in the back to comfort you. It happened to him too.
Yeah.
All right, just to add it, because I didn't give it to Matt Callis in this one. Very quick on that. If that does happen, then this is the right time you could bring. You mentioned Hangman MJF feuding for the belt. Have the firm alongside. Then this is where you can bring back the Elite. Then you bring back Omega and the Bucks, teaming with Hangman. Go ahead and feuding with them.
And by the way, they did say that Adam Cole will be back after the pay-per-view. They said with his injury, he's supposed to be back after 4 Gear.
Right.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Yeah.
Matt Callis, take it away. I know you've been waiting for you.
So, if we rewind the clock back to 2018, this would have been one of the matches you saw in Ring of Honor. Kind of like, I think Roosh came around, what was that, late 2018, 2019? Yeah. Well, when he came into Ring of Honor and he feuded with Dalton Castle and all those great matches in that time period. So imagine if Hangman stayed with Ring of Honor, how this would have played out. It would be a very different affair altogether. I mean, seeing where Hangman's pecking order was in Ring of Honor at the time, and then maybe he would be just like a policeman for Kenny Omega or for Cody, or had the whole AEW, like say if it was just if it was reverse, it was like Ring of Honor coming to TV and whatnot. But I mean, this is good for what it could be, but it could have been better. Like if in an alternate universe, this match is more, we're seeing Roosh be more dominant in the alternate world, and just like you, just like everybody else, I'm excited for the Moxley Hangman match, because it was almost like the dish everybody, they kind of left on this, they for the last, I don't know, they left it on the side for you to get later. This is the thing at the restaurant you haven't ordered yet. Here I am at the food references. This is the thing. You've come to the restaurant 1,000 times and you still haven't ordered this item, the Hangman Page John Moxley combo. So, and you're gonna get it.
I love it. I love it. Now it's time for the main. You know what? Before we go to that, look, is there really do we have to? I mean, do we? No.
I'm just gonna say I'm happy with Jungle Boy. That's it.
I am not.
It all worked. As far as I'm concerned, it all worked. It was Luchasaurus squash somebody, and then Jungle Boy gets a little revenge and calls him out. Okay, cool.
He just needs better fucking mic skills. You broke my heart.
Did you hear the crowd though? The crowd actually went, oh.
Yeah, I saw the fan back. He was like, oh, I was like one behind, like when the cameras was focused on Luchasaurus and Christian, you see the cameraman, like the one of the fans behind them, it was like, oh, and I'm like, oh my god, dude.
He should have said Anakin. You broke my heart, Anakin, and freaking, and then Luchasaurus is like,
don't do it, Luchasaurus. High ground.
I'm the high
Lucha Vader.
For me. I love you.
Lucha Vader.
You're breaking my heart.
Now, the only thing that I have to add about that is I don't even want to call him Luchasaurus anymore. With all the black and the fire and everything else, that
Lucha
motherfucker is like a
Vader.
dragon. I want to call him
Christian the Chancellor.
I want to call Luchasaurus Dracarys because he just reminds me of a fire-breathing dragon at this
There
point.
you go. That'd be cool. He should do
Dracarys,
that.
what was his name in Lucha Underground? I forgot. And it's funny because we did the fucking.
Vibora?
I think it was Vibora,
Yeah,
right?
because he was a snake.
He was the big
a
snake,
reptile,
yeah.
yeah, he was snake, yeah.
In the reptile
yeah.
tribe or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Yeah, but
I mean, that shit is ominous. I do like that. I don't know if I like this whole thing, this whole segment as much, but I do like that whole gimmick.
Yeah, it's just that it died out quick because they haven't put it on TV as much, and that's why it's dying out, and I'm losing investment on it. It's just like, oh, okay. Just I hope they don't. Oh man, if they next Wednesday on Dynamite, if it just goes to like no contest and they redo it again on Full Gear, I'm not watching that match because I do not want to see it. I will skip that as my bathroom break because, and I love Perry, you know, because I seen him in the, seen him in the Indies.
I was gonna say this is Jungle Jack though.
I know I seen him in the Indies, but I'm just this story.
Indies, PWG, all that shit.
PWG, bar wrestling.
Fuck,
seen him everywhere. Just fuck. This story needs to get out of it. I'm tired of it.
Ivan, you know he's better than this. That's why.
Yeah, yes, and we know it. No, not to quote.
I mean,
MJF.
we've even seen it in AEW, so yeah, it's accurate.
You can do better than this. You can do better than this. You're
Definitely.
You're not serving me the dish that you could that you're as good at preparing.
And
no, this was a TV dinner, Jungle Jack. What the fuck, man?
With Hungry Man with Booker T.
Shit. I forgot about that fucking
porn
$7 TV fucking there for like Jungle Jack. Hungry Jack. That's what it's
Hungry Jack. There you go.
Hungry Jack.
Family size, extra large.
Family size. Rip me off for $7. Hell no, that's not a
Hungry Man.
And you get like a slab of ribs that makes a McRib look legit. Yeah, I've struggled, folks. I know.
Hey, the struggle's real, man. The struggle's real. I rather buy me
every day, bro. Every day.
Rather buy me one of those, $2 for $1 burritos and that fucking shit. I would enjoy that with a bag of chips. I'll be happy with this shit. That was a struggle for me. But man, let's get to the main event, gentlemen. Oh man, Ocho, the Gajote,
ESPN 8.
ESPN 8. That's right. I'm gonna get that fucking. I'm gonna get it watched.
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yeah, the Ocho. Oh my god, shit! I'm gonna get that clip just for you. I'm gonna get it for you. Versus, of course, this childish piece of shit. He doesn't deserve to be named. I'm not gonna say his fucking name. I'm just not
this
gonna say
motherfucker right here.
He named.
Voldemort,
my bad.
No.
This tongue wagging motherfucker right here.
Exactly. Versus, of course, Brian Danielson, the Daniels, and Daniel Garcia. The Daniels. There you go.
Somebody posted on Twitter the team Daniel Bryan because Daniel Garcia and Brian Danielson, and it's the use of Daniel Bryan's name in WWE.
The American Dragon Slayers.
Hey, this could be like a fucking Mexican full name, like a Latino full name. It could be Brian Daniel Garcia Danielson. Like you have like a Maria de Jesus de Guadalupe de Ochoa Perez.
I am the Dragon Slayer and the Dragon Tamer at the same time.
And I can say that because I'm Mexican, all right? So don't get offended for audio platform listeners, all right? I can say because I'm Latino. Yo lo puedo decir porque yo soy Latino. Okay.
If you can't hear Latino on an audio podcast, you need to get your ears checked.
Exactly. But Theo, take this away, man.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, it was a tremendous match. I gotta say, between last week and this week, and I'm gonna use another dodgeball quote. These table spots have just been Ouchtown population you, bro. I mean, Brian Danielson with he hits the table, but he hits the belt and it doesn't break. Then he gets the table spot, and then the week before with Julia Hart, and she goes through the table ass first. and just cracked her head on the concrete. It's like, maybe we need to stop with these table spots all the goddamn time. But as far as the match, it was tremendous. It was 50-50 all the way through. Even this tongue wagging something about Mary hair having spoiled motherfucker showed out, and people still said he sucked. It was great. I love the fact that, of course, the sports entertainers had to win with some dirty shit. It just set things up to the point where you don't know if Danny Garcia is actually out of Jericho Appreciation Society or not, which I loved. He could go back, or he could go after Jericho and try to take that title. It could be someone like him, or it could be someone like we were talking about before. Jay Lethal turns face, gets on a winning streak, and now he wants to bring honor back to that title that he held for so long. So if Danny doesn't go that route, maybe he goes back. If he does, then maybe he takes the title, and maybe Jay gets left out. Poor guy, but oh well. Either way, you don't know what's going to happen, and it makes you want to tune the fuck in.
It's very true. I like that.
And so this match did everything it was supposed to do, even though it had, like I said, a tongue wagging something about Mary hair having spoiled, rotten piece of shit in it. But that's why he didn't get sent home, because he's in the main event while El Idolo was on Rampage. Who cares?
That shit got canceled right away after that.
That shit was like, nah, shut that
Easily.
down, homie. We'll put 10 in the fucking trios match. He didn't need to lose his mask anyway. If Tony really would have been a dick, he's like, okay, booking's changed. Andrade, you lose. Your career's done. Bye. Say hi to Charlotte.
Big Dad, take it away, brother.
No, like for all the people that are talking about Sammy, oh, he got the pin. Was it really a good pin for him? He was knocked out. He was getting subbed, and then Garcia just gets hit with the world title by Jericho, and then Sammy just goes like this. The ref could have just put him on top of us, and it would have been the same situation. And then, let's put him on a head. Let's overreact to it. That's the whole JES way. And they're just pandering against the crowd on purpose. It was the right thing to do there, because they knew that the fans were gonna give Sammy grief. They're saying "fuck you, Sammy" half the match.
You still suck. You
Yeah.
still
So
suck.
so the end was the play. Like they had that finish the whole time. It was gonna be that finish, but what they did afterwards, I felt like, was to play to the crowd to get them to react a little bit more, because they're a heel group and they want to get that boo as much as possible. So that was them ad-libbing, I think, at the end and doing it right. The whole story here. I think the one thing that I'm kind of confused and kind of adds intrigue to the whole Garcia and Jericho thing, you know how we said we feel like Jericho's going to go through all the world title, the past Ring of Honor world champions, beat them, and then at the end of the day, it's going to be putting over Garcia as the world champ. What's going to happen with the pure title? When's he going to drop that? And because I feel like that's going to play a part at the end of the day in this rivalry, is you have him going, I want to go where I want to go. You don't tell me. Maybe he does tease next week that he goes with goes back. But then what if the JAS cost him the title, the pure title in the match against a guy like I said, Lee Moriarty, or somebody where he drops the pure title to, well, maybe Sammy takes the pure title from him.
Oh God,
we don't
please
know.
No.
I don't want it to, but
Please
I mean,
no. Not right now.
But I need somebody to take that title off, because I feel like that's going to be the game changer for Daniel Garcia to flip the switch and be like, okay, I'm not in this group anymore. I'm going on my own. I feel like he's going to go on his own the whole time. I don't think he's going to go to the Combat Club. I think he's just going to be Daniel Garcia. He has the number 2 or 3 highest sold shirt in AEW right now, the Dragon Teamer shirt, for a reason, because people are buying into the character that he has now. Just the no nonsense, I'm tough as shit, I'll face anybody. And now he's starting to do a little bit more with it, with the technicality with it. But I can't wait until he beats Jericho. That's why Jericho has the belt. This is the reason. People can hate him all you want. He's doing what he has to do. And he's doing it great. He's putting the ROH title and making it important right now.
I guess.
Love it. Well, okay. Wait, you bet to differ on this? I mean,
I don't understand it. I really don't. Like,
I get it. I do get it. And
why Jericho? Like, hey, you can't be AEW champion anymore, but here's your consolation prize. Sorry, Claudio. We know it was your first belt. We have to make him the Ocho. Like, Claudio's in the corner shaking, having WWE flashbacks right now, and everybody's like, oh, yay, Jericho's got the belt, and he's fucking over Ring of Honor. How's this help?
I get it, bro.
Fucking help.
Okay,
Get them on the network. Oh, here's this guy who used to be great with a Cracker Barrel body. He's the face of your company. We want a network. They're gonna be like, fuck out of here.
He did it with Dynamite.
3 years ago.
Hey, he hasn't changed. He hasn't gotten worse. He hasn't gotten better. He's the same.
He lost weight at least, man. At least he lost that.
He's kind of looking and sounding like the old man in the neighborhood that tells you to get off his
yard.
But
that last week's main event against Bandito, he did impress me. He did a good job on that match.
The match with Bandito was good. I'll give him that much.
Yes.
But then he had to turn around and clock Bobby Cruz. It's like, motherfucker.
Yep.
But Kevin, go ahead, man.
All right.
This is how you get on network. Clock your announcer in the face.
All right. Time for some aggressive, moderate stance. This is where, I'm coming out.
Not passive aggressive, aggressive moderate.
Yeah, aggressive moderate right here.
Okay.
So
I'll just check it.
We got to walk on a very fine line with what they do with Jericho here, because if you have this heel Jericho hold that title too long, he's going to magically the wizard of sports entertainment suckiness is going to magically appear, and he's going to become this monster that's half Triple H, half Jeff Jarrett. You know?
Oh God! And again, how does that help?
That's why he can't hold that Ring of Honor title too long. Because if it's not Bryan Danielson, it's got to be right away. You got to do it right. Don't have him hold it too long and annoy everybody. Because I stopped watching TNA when Jeff Jarrett just kept like holding that belt. I'm like, geez. And I stopped watching WWE when Triple H kept holding on to that belt.
I'm trying to still watch WWE with that certain person holding both belts.
So what you got to do with Chris Jericho is make sure that this doesn't turn into a reign of terror. You know, that's the main thing they got to watch out for. I mean, you know, don't let it. It's not hot potato, but you can't let Jericho get too attached to it. Don't give Chris Jericho belt abandonment issues. He's gonna be like, no, please.
I don't think it's gonna be that. They're gonna have him. They got the storyline. He put it out there. He wants to beat all the former Ring of Honor champions, and you got the Ring of Honor. It's very the company. It's very straightforward. Like, it's very respectful. You have a match. You shake your opponent's hand, whether you like them or
Code
not.
of honor.
Boom, boom, code of honor. That's what I like about it, because he's doing the exact opposite.
Yeah.
He's making a mockery of it. Before Chris Jericho got the title, the big thing is what I was trying to say before is not a lot of people were talking about Ring of Honor. Like, oh, it's a joke, this and that. It's still a little bit of a joke because we still haven't gotten the show yet because of the stupid mergers going on and the pushing of that back. And the Discovery is killing that right now. The whole TV show happening at this moment. That's why it's gotten pushed back. But Chris Jericho's getting eyes and ears on Ring of Honor, the belts. People are talking about Ring of Honor. Whether it's good or bad, people are talking about, they're like, oh, I don't know Roosh. I don't know this guy. Because maybe some people, the casual fans, don't know Ring of Honor. But casual people know Chris Jericho. I'd be 90% sure that a lot of people know who he is because he is a wrestler and a singer. And he's been around on TV. He's that big face. Whether he's past his,
he just
whether he's whether he's past his prime or not, he's gonna get people to tune in. Yeah. Well, I know he's past his prime, but he's gonna get people
looks
to
like
tune
Vince
in.
Neil now. It's ridiculous.
He's gonna get people to tune into Ring of Honor matches just because he's there, and he's gonna get people invested in just seeing what happens to that world title and what happens to Ring of Honor.
If that works, it just can't be too long. You really gotta. You can't drag it out too much. Like
I think it's just enough to get the belt onto Garcia. Like I can see December or January.
I think right away after Full Gear, I think December should be the right time because
like final battle. Have a final battle.
Final battle. Exactly,
and
it makes sense with that because with that you have Jericho who's going over all these former Ring of Honor stars. You're really popping up Garcia to be the main pinnacle of Ring of Honor, who can save Ring of Honor away from this guy. If they can do that and just do it on a consistent basis, him defeating all his peers, all former Ring of Honor stars, even Jay Lethal, which is why it makes sense. We see Lethal might turn face, and then he can be the last person before final battle. Jericho beats Jay Lethal because Jay Lethal was the last champion before Jonathan Gresham. So then he beats him, and then go after, and then right there Garcia will be the one to dethrone him. And
I'm just imagining like Danny Dose straps, just pure title, ROH title.
And we haven't seen that in what? When was the last time we saw that? Like in Ring of Honor. Like, this was like, who was it? It was It was Brian. It was Daniel Bryan, right? Oh no, Bryan Danielson, right? It was title versus title.
Wasn't it him and Nigel McGuinness?
Nigel McGuinness, right? That's what I thought it was. Yeah, it was him and Nigel McGuinness for title versus title.
Did Jay Lethal maybe have the TV title and the ROH World title at the same time?
He did. When they were the foundation. When they were the foundation, it was they had the
that would be like technically the last one. But those two titles, I think it was Danielson.
Yeah. So I think we could see that happen. But
I would love it.
I agree with Matt. I know they shouldn't delay it this long, but as long as they can do it like every other Wednesday, not every fucking Wednesday, because then it'll be like, hello, waiting for you. It's like this fucking Luchasaurus and Christian Cage fucking feud. It's almost the same. Fuck, I don't want that anymore. Just
Can we move on?
Can we move on already? Because I want this to happen already. You get me? Jesus. But I mean, I digress, man. But I can't wait, man. I'm excited for this weekend. There's so much shit. Man, final thoughts before we close it out here, gentlemen, on this.
Holy shit. It's going to be a busy weekend, and I'm a couple hours away from being up 24 hours straight. So enjoy wrestling. If it's not your cup of tea, let somebody else drink it.
Yep.
There you go. Oh, man. There we have it. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 3 hours of fantastic. We did 3 hours once again, but it is just a lot of pro wrestling. We
fantastic,
derailed a little bit.
Delirious.
Yes. Well,
by the way, I'm looking forward to Brian. We got Nick Gage versus John Moxley, title versus career match in Atlantic City this Saturday. And they're doing it outside. They're doing it outside under the lights.
Whoa!
They're gonna have the match outside.
That should be cool.
Is it
on the pier?
On the boardwalk?
Yeah, it's on the boardwalk.
Nice.
I was supposed to go, but then of course my cousin has to get married. Of course, of all days.
Boardwalk.
Damn it, cousin, my IQ. What's wrong with you?
Falling in love in the boardwalk.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time because, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in for these fantastic 3 hours. And, man,
Autobots, transform and roll out.
That is right, because I want to go ahead and thank mi familia right here, the psycho himself, Dom, and Dad for taking the opportunity here and their time, spending 3 hours with us, just speaking good shit of professional wrestling. And there's a lot happening this weekend, and I cannot wait. And man, I appreciate you, Dom. I appreciate you, Dad. Dad, of course, is my other host for the New Japan show. And I know we're gonna be busy next week for sure. We're gonna be busy next week, Dan and I. So I'm looking forward for Declaration of Power. Jesus, man, that's just gonna be something that I'm excited for. That's coming up next Tuesday. We'll talk about that. If by the time we take out World Quest at that time, we might fucking do that. Maybe that Friday, next Friday instead of top 5. We'll probably do that. We'll see. It all depends how I'm looking forward. But, gentlemen, shout out the socials. Give the people what they want. So I'll start off, of course, with Dan. Let the people know where can they catch the man with the greatest IQ that Gato should have and Bushido board, especially fucking Tony Khan, and especially the guy with the slick hair who causes bullshit on social media and gets the main event still. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can find me on social media on Twitter at CageIQ. You can find me on Instagram at CageMyIQ. And then all my content's on YouTube. So just search CageMyIQ. Of course, you see my logo right there. Just subscribe to my channel. Check out all the content on there. Me, Tim, and Brett just did our Declaration of Power prediction show on there. So check that out. I got an interview coming up with Chris Barnett of the UFC. That's coming up in the next couple of days. Ooh, and, I'm getting ready to do my preview for UFC Fight Night 62. And, of course, for everybody, just enjoy all the wrestling that we got right now. We're so lucky enough to have all these organizations out here to watch. Just enjoy it. If it just like Dom said, if you don't like it, just watch what you do like.
Yeah. Don't drink it. If it's not your cup of tea, don't drink it and pass it on, man. That's what I love about the DOM. Speaking of the DOM, let the people know where can they find the TRWT.
I'm gonna make this easy because I'm tired, y'all. We're now a member of the Rewind Wrestling Network, and you can find our audio podcasts, our YouTube shows, everything on the Rewind Wrestling Network at their LINKTREE on YouTube, wherever podcasts are distributed. Just search for Rewind Wrestling Network. That's WREWINDPODCAST. Ain't we great?
But also they have the most incredible award-winning PWI and award-winning the League of Extraordinary Podcast.
We do.
Instagram name. I'll do it for you because I know you've been here with us for 3 hours. So I'll fucking do it for you, man.
I woke up at like 3 a.m.
2 hours later.
2 hours later. But yes, I'm going to try to do it as how Don was saying or Bruce was saying. So you can find Top Rope on Instagram at top_rope_wrestling_talk. And that's in no lower cases. The greatest, the greatest, and not the worst Instagram name of all time. PWI award, and of course the League award as well. And that is right. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And for all of our audio platform listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys up in Germany, Switzerland, all around Europe, Republic, Sweden. That's good. We get to steal choose. And of course, Latinoamérica, gracias. Latinoamérica, gracias por escuchar aquí en Cerco Debate. No se olviden de suscribir aquí a nuestros hermanos. Aquí mi hermano Dom y mi hermano Dan. Suscribe al Top Rope Wrestle Talk. Lo pueden encontrar en el Rewind Wrestling Network. Ahí lo pueden encontrar en la descripción, está abajo. También al señor Dan, o lo pueden encontrar KHMyIQ. Y saludos a toda Latinoamérica, México, Colombia, Salvador, Nicaragua, Brasil, Honduras, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominica Dominicana. Saludos a todos. And of course, our Philippines, Matt. I don't know because you're listening in the Philippines.
Buhay, kumusta kayo? You know, sige na po.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And we'll be back here by tomorrow. Top 5 DX moments. Since their 25-year anniversary are coming. So I'll be, the director and I will be talking about that. And also on Friday morning, you will be seeing my interview with the Warlord of Weird, Sin Bodhi, as he's getting prepared for the PCW Ultra, for the championship coming up on October 21st that we're sponsoring, of course. Set in Stone in Wilmington, California for all your SoCal Pro Wrestling fans. Buy your tickets now. Buy them now because we will be there. I will be there. And Sin Bodhi has a lot to say about.
Is that Sumi Sakai?
Sumi Sakai will be there as well.
Women of Honor champion, former Women of
Honor.
Yes,
Women of Honor world champion. Of course, don't forget as well. Since Mike Dino's is not here, I'll plug it in for him. For all you guys and ladies, especially men, for all you want to keep your balls clean, keep them nice and fresh and smelling great for all the women. Purchase all your merchandise at manscaped.com. You can get your discount by putting the promo code DeLorean. You get 20% off on all your merchandise that you purchase from manscaped.com. Make sure you do that and use the promo code DeLorean
for your family jewels.
Exactly. You do that. So once again, wipe it all off. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the host Stevie's One IBC. Here with my other host, Matt MGC, Mr. 69, Matt Callis. With my other host, of course, Mr. IQ himself, Dan Bakley, of course, and of course, the DOM of podcasting himself, the South Philly Psycho, the DOM, Dom, Top Rope Saint. That here the League of Extraordinary Podcast, Top Rope Wrestle Talk, Cage by IQ, and the Circle of Debate. Wrestling Delorean don't just do podcasting.
We don't just do podcasts. We make history.
I like that. Good job.
Over and over. Make over and over. History! Over and over and over.